Here we go. I awaken to darkness. I guess I'm not much for dreaming. Unless something big happens, I always have the same dream anyway. Oh, what? I always envision a sword. I have no idea why, but that's the only thing that pops into my head. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Perhaps this is what defines me as, well, me, as Shiro Emiya. I don't have any dreams of my own. The only things on my mind while I sleep are what others taught me long ago. For example, on how to be a mage. Even if I'm not a full-fledged mage, it's only natural for a mage to be aware of the world they're in. Put simply, a mage is an irregular, an outcast from society. But even outcasts need to band together to survive. My old man told me there is a society of mages called a Mages Association. He also told me I shouldn't ever get involved with them. Oh, really? Which is funny, because, like, he didn't really get involved with them himself either. The Mages Association is said to conceal the existence of magecraft and manage mages. Though to be fair, they are like known for like just kind of using you as a political pawn, so I suppose that's enough reason to stay away from them, I suppose. The Mages Association watches over mages and makes sure their magecraft doesn't affect society, but the strange thing is that they don't really prohibit mages from abusing magecraft either. According to Kiritsugu, the Mages Association is only interested in concealing mystics. Even if, say, a mage carried out an experiment that sacrificed, let's say, a lot of citizens, the association wouldn't punish them. Interesting. I don't think this ever really gets addressed later on in the series. Like a little, but like generally you're not supposed to be allowed to just kidnap whoever and sacrifice whoever. But I'm going to jump at the conclusion that at the very least in the 80s and 90s, that's what the Mages Association was like. That they were like, just don't, as long as it's like don't ask, don't tell, kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's bad that that's happening, but as long as people at large aren't, the cops aren't finding out or whatever, it's fine. But then after the events of Fate Zero, which is when Kiritsugu stopped even paying any attention to mages anymore, that's the point when Waver Velvet, aka Lord Elmaloy II, starts coming to prominence. And so by the time Elmaloy became an adult, he's the Elmaloy case files does a pretty good job of convincing me that he does a really good purge of unethical mages for the most part. I mean, obviously he can't like deal with everything, but like he literally is an internal auditor of problems within the Mages Association, and it can be assumed that nobody really had been doing that, at least for a long time at the very least. At least that's how I would interpret this. Like I don't think that Elmaloy was even known at this point in Fate Stay Night, in all Fate Stay Night. I don't think he's going to show up at all. But I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in Fate Ataraxia. Their priorities are expressly in preventing the public from becoming aware of magecraft, which does not mean magecraft is completely banned. Honestly, anything goes as long as the truth doesn't come out. At least that seems to be how that insane bunch conducts themselves. Whatever it is, the Mages Association surveillance is absolute. Typical magecraft research sacrifices the lives of ordinary humans, which in turn risks revealing the existence of magecraft to the world. As such, the Mages Association doesn't permit research that would harm society. It's weird that we're getting this right now, but I get it. Ultimately, mages conduct their research in the privacy of their homes, while the world is none the wiser. So mages sometimes go into hiding to escape the association's scrutiny and oversight. Though there may be some mages living in this town, and I just don't know it. I also hear Fuyuki is a spiritual hotspot of sorts. That probably means there's some prestigious mage with a storied history living here. They're called Second Owners, elite mages the association entrusts to watch over territory. Other mages who live in the same area must visit these second owners first to get permission to build their workshops. Yeah, okay. I'm just like thinking, is that how that worked out? And yeah. No mages were here before the Holy Grail War. Yeah. So, I mean, as to whether they would actually go to Rin and ask her, that's up to discussion. Maybe they would go to the church instead. I don't know. But yeah. My old man was an outlaw who cut ties with the association and moved here without the consent of Fuyuki's second owner. Well, to be fair, though, he doesn't actually use magecraft in town, like at all. So, like, he basically abandoned magecraft at this point. So in a way, our family is a bunch of trespassers living in a house without permission from the landlord, which means the second owner doesn't know that Kiritsugu Emiya was a mage. That's the whole point of this. So I tend to feel like our family's status as mages is kind of unclear. But then my old man, the bona fide mage, died, and even though I'm his disciple and son, I don't know a thing about the Mages Association and have no real knowledge about being a mage. I have a feeling the association would want to dispose of someone like me, but they haven't made any sort of move. That's stupid to say that, though. Like, as if, like, the association would just be like, hey, there's just some guy who's, like, kind of sort of trying to be a mage. Well, he should die. Like, no, like, what? I mean, especially because of how weak he is. It'd be one thing if Shiro was trying to sacrifice people or had, like, some significant powerful ability, but he doesn't. Like, for all they know, in 2 generations they'll stop being mages. There's probably like people like that in this world quite a bit, and like the point is that unless you're a somewhat powerful mage, you're not going to be able to do anything that really matters anyway. So yeah, it's stupid that he thinks, well, they would want to kill me. Apparently, the Mages Association doesn't have many eyes in Japan, so that's probably why I haven't been found yet. No. They don't have many eyes anywhere. They don't have many eyes in America. They don't have many eyes in China. I think I heard that China actually has its own organization. I don't think they have eyes in the Middle East. I don't think they have that many eyes in Africa. It's a very European-centric organization. Yeah, I don't even think I ever hear about Australia. So, like, yeah, like South America, no, like, yeah, it's just like absurd. Like, they don't have eyes that many places. It's not that big of an organization. I mean, yeah, sure, you can say there's thousands of people, but they mostly stay in Europe, I think. But that doesn't mean I can let my guard down. The eyes of the Mages Association are said to be everywhere, and if someone commits a crime using magecraft, the church's heretic hunters will make their move. This is implying that somehow the Church and Mages Association is connected, but they're not really. Also, these are 2 completely different things. The Church's influence is completely unrelated to the Mages Association influence. Using magecraft, however half-assed you may be about it, makes you enemies. No, it doesn't. I mean, you can say it's half-assed, but, like, yeah, I mean, if you are like, I'm going to use a magic bullet and just kill people, well, then yes. I mean, in that case, yeah. But if you're like, I'm going to fix my refrigerator with magic, they don't give a crap. Like, it's really weird, like, that this is what Shiro thought. So with all that in mind, I honestly just want to study being a mage on my own. Even though I just said that I probably should just stop doing that. I wake up as the sunlight starts to pour in through the window. Looks like the sun's just now coming up. It's still dark out. It's cold. Waking up in the morning is getting tough. I get up, trying not to let the morning cold discourage me, and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. I've always been an early riser, no matter how late I go to bed. I might mess up once in a while, like yesterday, but that's rare. Okay, breakfast. I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, so it would look kind of bad if I didn't return the favor this morning. I should hurry up and finish making breakfast before Sakura comes. I cook rice and make miso soup. Yesterday the soup had daikon radish and carrots, so I make onion and potato miso soup today. I make the egg omelet and use the leftover konnyaku to simmer it with bonito flakes. Make incisions into the sari fish, which will be the main dish, and sprinkle it with a little salt. All I have to do is to broil it, but that can wait until the last minute. Okay, that'll do. It's almost 6. I finished. I'm just gonna read this really fast, honestly. I finished it. Like, I know. Okay, I'm pretty confident there's gonna be a lot that happens in this day. At the very least, definitely 2 big things, but probably 3. So I'm just gonna get through this quick. And like everything happens at night here. Finish earlier than expected, so I have some time on my hands. What should I do with the extra time? Guess I'll work up a quick sweat if I have so much time. Morning exercise is my daily routine, so I might as well do some light workout. Wait a second. How do I look at that? How do I look at what came before? Okay, that'll do it. I thought I like might have skipped something, but no. Okay, I guess not. Okay. The hushed atmosphere of an empty dojo encourages one to focus. And in the morning, just as the sun rises, its serenity makes the mood even more sacred, enthralling whoever visits the site. I'm gonna really have to fix my visual. Wait a second. I'm gonna just do it now. Since, like... Sorry. This is just getting obnoxious to see. Is it just... Yeah, it's just 0. And then that's probably 0. Is that right? I think that's right. I know it's crazy how much I'm cutting off. That's why I'm getting like kind of annoyed. It's like, I know this should be way, way bigger. Let me see. No, not that far. I think that's fine. I think this looks fine. Wait, what? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, I see. That's what I was confused. Wait, this feels confusing. Because there's like a bit of a border that I'm dealing with here. Can't quite tell. Wait, no, the top. Yeah. There we go. Sorry. The problem is I think this looks pretty good though. But yeah, the problem is if I put the lines in, the lines don't add up. I'm gonna at some point in the future fix some of the aspect ratio issues. Like some games don't quite work out, but like for the most part, it really should be working out better. Okay. I think this looks fine. I think. When I have a better border, I'll fix it more. Anyway, there's only one thing I do here. Ever since my old man died, the dojo has turned into just a gym to train my body. Training to be a mage means I can't neglect training my body. One of the conditions of being mage is maintaining yourself at your physical peak. Okay. When Kiritsugu was still alive, he and I sparred often. Well, more that he just kicked my ass every time, so I never really learned how to win myself. But at least I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I learned the difference between killing and beating an opponent, and how to conduct myself in each situation. Knowledge and experience are different. Without the knowledge to know the difference, it's hard to tell if you've gotten yourself into a fight or a massacre. It's as simple as that. Learning Magecraft means that there is a risk of perishing on your own, as well as the risk of having to fight. And to mages, that means killing each other. That's why Kiritsugu wanted to teach me that I must always be ready to face death. But the person reminding me of that lesson is long gone. So the only thing I can do alone is some simple exercises. Guess I better get on with it. After I stretch to warm up, I focus on my inner strength and begin my exercises. As I train my body, I assess how my magic circuits affect my blood flow, my skeletal frames creaking, the fatigue I feel, and how much that all distracts my thoughts. 120, 150, 170. Even simple push-ups can train my magic circuits as long as I focus on my mental state, rather than putting physical weights on my body. With no proper mentor teaching me Magecraft, morning training is no different than what most sports clubs do, and they have become very important for me.
おはようございます先輩。今朝はもう済んでしまいましたか？
Yeah, it's all done. All that's left is to set the dishes and grill the fish.
あ、それならお手伝いします。食器の支度は任せてください。
Sakura is clearly eager in her reply, and coming in behind the ever-dependable Sakura.
この匂いはシローの卵焼きね。そっか、今朝はシローの朝ごはんなんだ。
Fujini casually heads to the table. Well, let's just ignore her for now. I need to grill the prepared fish. Sakura, use the middle set of plates. The food will look better on those.
この表面がブツブツのですか？
Yeah, those. Grilled meals tend not to look good if you don't plate them well. And I've already grated the daikon. Sakura reaches far to take out the plates. As she reaches out, I think I see a faint bruise on the back of her hand. Sakura, hold on a minute.
はい、何ですか先輩？
What's that bruise on your hand? She averts her eyes, looking uneasy. Her reaction makes how she got the bruise clear. Is it Shinji again? I can't believe he beats his own sister.
違います先輩。これは転んでぶつけちゃったんです。ほら、私鈍いでしょ？
I'm surprised that he doesn't think that it's her father, though. And we never hear about the mother. I mean, I know her actual backstory. So it's not like I don't know, but like at the same time, from Shira's perspective, how does he view her mom and dad?
だからよく転んで怪我ばっかりしてるんです。
How stupid do you think I am? Nobody gets bruises like that just from falling. It seems like Shinji needs some sense smacked into him.
ダメです先輩。これ本当に兄さんは関係ないんです。私が一人で怪我をしただけなんですから、先輩に怒ってもらう資格なんてありません。
Sakura falls silent. Sakura may seem docile, but she's surprisingly stubborn. It's no use saying anything to her now. Fine, if you say so. I'll leave it at that.
はい。ごめんなさい、先輩。
Why are you apologizing? Shinji's the one in the wrong. The moment I say Shinji's name, Sakura awkwardly looks away. It can only mean he is the cause of the bruise on her hand. Shinji Mato has a bad habit of treating his younger sister like crap. I noticed it about a year ago. Every now and then I'd see Sakura injured, and she always made excuses when I asked what happened. When I asked Shinji about it, he revealed to my shock that he'd been the one who hit Sakura. I asked why, and he told me it was because she'd done something he hadn't liked. I got pretty pissed off, so I did to Shinji what he'd done to Sakura. We haven't been on great terms since then.
先輩、兄さんとは仲直りしてくれましたか？
Huh? Yeah, sure. We never fought in the first place, so there's not much call for making up. He literally just said that he did fight him. No, he just punched him.
先輩にとってはそうでしょうけど、兄さんにとっては喧嘩をしたことになるんです。だから気をつけてくださ
As somebody who has finished all of the anime, I can't wait to learn what the fuck is up with Shinji. Like, I still don't understand anything about the relationship between Shiro and Shinji. Especially since, like, Shiro is kind of Shinji's only friend in a weird way. What Sakura says strikes me as odd. Be careful of Shinji?
はい、
Yeah, why not?
兄さん、先輩を目の敵にしてるって聞きました。その、先輩が退部するようになったのも、兄さんのせいだって。
Shinji had nothing to do with me quitting. While he might have been a factor. Well, he might have been a factor, but it's nothing that you should worry about. And Shinji's right. This is a little unsightly. I point at my left shoulder. There's a little scar there. It happened about 1.5 years ago. Something fell on me during one of my jobs, injuring my left shoulder. I ended up with just a broken bone, but I also came away with a burn to my shoulder. Broken bone and burn. After the accident, I quit the Kyoto Club, archery club. Our school's archery club, out of respect for formalities, allows students to perform sacred shooting rituals. Male students participating in this expose their left shoulder. Shinji pointed out that it may be disrespectful for someone performing a sacred shot to expose a scar. And since I was getting busy with my various jobs, I decided to quit the club. It seems like a really random, not even an issue. It's just like, hey, like he was like teasing him, but then Shiro like took it way too seriously. I mean, do you even? Oh yeah, I guess you have to show your left shoulder. It's also weird that like he got hurt, but like it wasn't like a serious injury though too. Yeah. It's just weird. Because it's like, oh, he got hurt. Is that there's some deeper meaning? No, it's just a random thing that happened, which caused him to quit the archery club. I don't know if quitting the archery club. I guess quitting the archery club is what causes Sakura basically to start coming here. So like that's where the fate and butterfly effect aspect comes into it, I think. So like yeah, without that falling on him, Sakura wouldn't start coming here, and if Sakura didn't start coming here, I guess the events of Heaven's Feel might have been worse. Probably. That's my best guess. But it doesn't really affect the other two routes as far as I'm aware. Oh, well, I mean, maybe though, that if he was still in the archery club, he wouldn't be at school at the end of this day, after school. So, like, he wouldn't be doing a whole bunch of the menial tasks, fixing school supplies and stuff.
先輩、しつこいようですけど、本当にもう弓は引かないんですか？藤村先生も怪我なんて支障はないって言ってるのに。
Fujini would say that even if I'd broken every bone in my body.
先輩、私真面目な話をしているんです。
I know I should give her a serious answer, but unfortunately I can't give Sakura the answer she's looking for. I don't have time to do club activities. I like archery, but it's not something I should prioritize. So I think I'll give it a rest for a while.
しばらくってどのくらいですか？
However long I feel like, or maybe until it's time for you to graduate. I'm looking forward to having you look after me then, Sakura. Really? Is that this? I pat Sakura's shoulder.
はい、私その時をお待ちしています。
Even if it was just an offhand comment, I don't think that was mentioned in the anime. She nods so violently it looks like she might drop the plates. She was very excited. Almost implying that you'd be dating. I mean, you would think. No, I'm just going to be a single woman who lives in your house and helps you with your meals. That's all. Like, maybe even maybe I even live out of the house. Maybe, you know, I don't need to live at home after I graduate, right? That's just. It's almost 7:30. Sakura and Fujini have long since left the house for their morning club activities. I went to school early yesterday because Issei asked me to, but I leave the house at the usual time today. I noticed something strange as I walked down the hill toward the intersection. Several police cars are parked in front of a house. Something must have happened. Since a crowd has gathered, there are easily 20 people watching. I'm curious, but the mass of people preventing me from finding out what the mass of people are preventing me from finding out what's happening. I don't have much time, so I should hurry to school. Make it to school 10 minutes before the first bell. Cross through the gate. Plenty of time as usual.
Emiya.
Hey, Emiya. You're into a familiar student. You haven't even changed yet, Mitsuzuri. Homeroom's about to start. You really don't have time to say hi to me.
いや、ごもっとも。相変わらず釣れない野郎だね、エミヤは。
I don't know what's so funny, but she laughs hardly, not caring about her surroundings. This is Ayako Mitsuzuri. She's been a classmate of mine since we were first years, and she's currently the captain of the archery club. She's an unbelievably insightful person, and it was expected that she would be the team's next captain since her first year with them. Mitsuzuri is a precocious sort, and people have always had high hopes for her, and even leaned on her ever since she was a first year. Then again, she gets mad whenever someone mentions that in front of her, claiming she doesn't look as old as people think.
あ？今あんたよからぬ感想を漏らさなかったかもし。
I wouldn't dare. Just making an observation. If you want to get angry about it, that's your call.
お、言うじゃん。いいね。正直に答えるくせに何をどう考えてたかは口にしないんだもの。エミヤ、シンジと違って隙がないな。
Shinji? What's he got to do with this?
なんでも何も。あんたとシンジって友人じゃない。シンジの男友達ってあんただけでしょ。それにお忘れでしょうが、私これでも弓道部の首相なの。うちの問題児と辞めちまった問題児をくっつけるのは自然な流れだと思わない？
It's weird that she says he's his only male friend. Are you trying to... Is she trying to imply that he has female friends? I doubt that. I guess. The archery club's got nothing to do with it, but he and I go back a long way.
あ、カチンときた。あんたね、弓道部の話になると急に冷たくなるでしょ。いいご身分よね。シンジをほっぽっといて、自分はさっさと退場しちゃうんだから。後に残された私とかさくらの気持ちとか、少しは考えてくれてもいいんじゃない？
Because, like, everybody implies that him leaving, like, he says, oh, it's because I, got hurt and I shouldn't show my injury. But, like, that's definitely an excuse. Like, there's no reason to even say that. But then it's weird because, like, he does have to work extra jobs. Like, he does actually have to support his household, seemingly. I mean, as far as we know. I mean, I feel like that's probably not true. Like, realistically... Kiritsugu had to have left him an inheritance to last, well, I don't know how long, but that's probably why he was away on trips so many times. Probably. What? Did Shinji do something bad again? Really? Okay.
まあ、それにしても昨日のはちょっとやりすぎか。1年の男子が1人辞めたぐらいだから。
Mitsuzuri sighs gravely. Seeing her look so serious is rare to begin with. The rest of her story is particularly alarming. What the heck? Why'd he quit?
シンジのやつが八つ当たりしたのよ。わざわざ女子を集めてね、夢を持ったばかりの子にシャをさせて、的中するまで笑い物にしたとか。
You were to say that he gathered all the female members. Like, honestly, this wouldn't be that big a deal. Like, build confidence, maybe. But, like, yeah, why a female member specifically? What? How could you let something like that happen?
見過ごすか。けどさ、首相ってのはいろいろと忙しいんだ。いつも道場にいるわけじゃないってエミヤだって知ってるでしょ。
Well, yeah, but what the hell was Shinji thinking? He may be harsher than the others, but he's not the type to make someone into a spectacle.
呆れた。エミヤってば本当にあれだ。
What do you mean by that? Were you just thinking something bad about me?
あら、私はあくまで客観的な事実を連想しただけさ。それで気を悪くするのはエミヤの勝手だね。
Why you using my own words against me? Fine, so what got into Shinji? Why'd you do that?
聞いた話じゃ、遠坂にこっぴどく振られたとかなんとか。
Eh? Tosaka? You mean that
う
Tosaka?
ちの学校にあれ以外の遠坂なんていないでしょ。
Why would Shinji try this right before the Holy Grail War? If he's sincere, then he's stupid. And if he's insincere, he's stupid. Because if he's insincere, it's like, yeah, you're gonna stab me in the back, Shinji. Like, I can't trust you. That said, technically the Tosakas and the Matas should be working together, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know, it's weird. Because technically, Rin's father trusted the Matos, so...
2年 A 組の優等生、ミスパーフェクトこと遠坂凛よ。
Yeah, we know. That's the first time I've heard that nickname. But it fits. Miss Perfect, really? It's no surprise Shinji got rejected. I thought Shinji was smart though. And knowing Tosaka, she probably had some pretty harsh insults to go with the rejection. Like, they have a lot of history between them
ともかく、
kind of.
シンジのやつは昨日からずっとその調子よ。おかげで私もこんな時間まで道場で目を光らせてたってわけ。
Shinji does have a low tolerance for some things. I know it might be tough, but good luck, Mitsuzuri.
はいはい。けどね、シンジって懲りないでしょ。また遠坂に声をかけて振られた日には、今度こそ遠坂本人に何かしそうでさ。
No, even Shinji wouldn't go near someone who just rejected him. He's good about that sort of thing.
けど相手が近寄ってくるんだからしょうがないじゃない。遠坂さ、なんか知らないけど、うちの道場よく見学に来るのよ。エミヤは辞めちゃったから知らないだろうけどね。
Okay, well I know why she does that. That's news to me. Rin doesn't participate in any club activities because her family forbids it or something. She even turned down nominations to be a member of the student council, so I always thought she went straight home after school.
ま、たまにはそれもいいか。あいつもお高く泊まってるし、一度ぐらいは痛い目に遭うのもいいかもね。お気の毒様っていうか、ご愁傷様っていうか。
Mitsuzuri has a weird way of looking at this. Now that I think about it, they say that Rin Tosaka has a lot of enemies. I wonder if Mitsuzuri is one of them too. Hey Mitsuzuri, that's kind of cruel even for you.
あ、そろそろ時間だ。じゃあね、エミヤ。今度私の弓の調子見に来てよ。
Mitsuzuri hastily runs off. Classic Mitsuzuri. Never minded just how forthright she always is. Feel a bit more at ease and head towards the classroom. It's lunchtime. Our school has quite the cafeteria and most of the students eat lunch here. But there are some old-fashioned students who still bring their own lunches, including myself and the student council president sitting in front of me.
エミヤ、その唐揚げを一つくれないか。俺の弁当には圧倒的に肉分が不足している。
Fine, but why is your lunch always so plain, Issei? I know you live in a temple, but there's no real rule that prohibits you from consuming alcohol or meat, right?
何を時代錯誤なことを。これは単に親父殿の趣味だ。小坊主に食わす贅沢はない。悔しいのなら己で何とかせよ、などという。いっそ今からでも天祖になるか。俺も考えどころだ。
But really, meat is an excess? Or a luxury? Now that sounds like your old man. Issei's father is a priest of Ryudo Temple, a larger-than-life figure who's always friends with Fujini's grandfather. Anyone who gets along with the old man Fujimura can't possibly be normal. Well then, here you go. You owe me. Pass my bento box to him.
いやいや、ありがたく。これも托発の修行なり。
Issei bows deeply. I honestly question whether I should be reminded that he's the son of a priest at times like this.
ああ、そういえばエミヤ、朝方2丁目の方で騒ぎがあったのを知っているか。ちょうどエミヤと別れるあたりの交差点だが。
The intersection? Could it be the same intersection where I saw all the police cars this morning?
なんでもな、殺人があったそうだ。詳細は知らないが、一家4人中助かったのは子供だけらしい。両親と姉は刺殺されたというが、その凶器が包丁やナイフではなく、長物だというのが普通じゃない。
I don't know. That's weird. Long weapon, does he mean a sword or something? No, spear. If it's murder, then that weapon killed the parents and the older sister. I can't help but imagine it. Someone sneaks in the house late at night. Unreasonable violence. A horrible nightmare. A victim neither imagined nor wished for, like a traffic accident. The parents are slaughtered. The older sister falls victim without knowing what is happening. A lone child, hidden in the shadows, is covered in their family's blood. Issei, did they catch the murderer?
捕まってはいないようだな。信徒の方では欠陥工事による事故。こちらでは辻切りめいた殺人事件だ。学校の門限が早まるのも当然。どうしたエミヤ？喉に飯でも詰まったか？
Nothing. Why do you ask?
いや、エミヤが厳しい顔をしていたのでな。少し驚いた。すまん。食事時の話ではなかったな。
Issei apologizes and tries to lighten the mood. I actually don't mind topics like this and didn't realize I was looking so severe. And then there's a gentle knock on the student council room's door.
失礼。竜道はいるか？
ああ、はい。何ですか、先生。
Mr. Kazuki enters. Issei steps over to him to have a conversation. Must be a casual student council manner since Issei looks relaxed. Look at that. Something I don't see every day. Issei is surprisingly shy. He keeps his distance from classmates and even teachers. But for some reason he's warmed up to the student council advisor, Mr. Kazuki. Maybe they get along because they're both straight-laced. Soichiro. Okay, never mind. I was thinking of that sounded like another name from Witch on the Holy Night, but no, it's a little different. Kazuki is a homeroom teacher for class 2A, and he's very serious and kind of weird. Some part of that is probably why he and Issei get along so well. The two continue to talk. As I watch them, I can't stop thinking about the murder. Class is end. Time to go home. Can't wander around because I have work today. Shouldn't do anything at school. I should head straight to the neighboring town, but maybe the morning's conversation bothered me more than I realized. The next thing I know, I'm at the archery club. What the hell am I thinking? Mrs. Zuri said Rin frequently visits. Well, that I hadn't thought of that, but I think it'd be a problem if Shinji got violent against Tosaka. Shinji's unstoppable when he gets mad. Shinji lashing out at Tosaka because she rejected him would be bad. Well, I don't know exactly how, but it'd just be bad. Oh, Tosaka's not even here. Tosaka's nowhere to be found around the dojo. Mitsuzuri worried for nothing.
誰がいないって？
So he was talking out loud.
だから誰がいないって？
Issei, who I thought I'd parted ways with, is standing right next to me. Why are you here, Issei? Don't scare me like that.
いや、エミヤが挙動不審げに道場を眺めていたからつい。で、誰がいないって？
Well, it's Tosaka. I heard she had a spat with Shinji yesterday, so I wanted to make sure things were okay.
ほうほう、挙動不審だな。 聞かれてもいないのに理由まで話すなど、俺は誰がいないかと聞いただけなのだが。
This is a Japanese thing. Like, if he just said Tosaka, that'd be really weird to say. What? It's none of your business what I do around here.
それはしかり。だが無駄だぞエミヤ。遠坂はここにはいない。なぜなら、あいつは今日ずる休
Cut
み。
class, so she's absent? I see. Wait, Issei, why do you think she cut class? That's not the sort of thing she'd ever do.
するとも、あいつが風邪などひくものか。俺が見たところあいつは悪いやつだ。外見に騙されるとパクッと食われるぞエミヤ。
Yeah, she's pretty selfish. Somehow what Issei's saying irritates me. Well, it's because you have a high opinion about her for no good reason. I may not know Tosaka that well, but I don't think she's a bad person. Watch what you say, Issei. You know Tosaka's not like that.
なんだ、エミヤも遠坂狙いなのか。ああ、それはすまない。今のは流してくれ。
A secret crush? Like hell. But don't make assumptions. I'm just worried Shinji's going to stir up some trouble.
シンジが遠坂に殴りかかろうとしたら止めるためか。またそんな役回りをするな。別に俺は気にしないが、割と趣味が悪いのだな、エミヤは。
I wonder if Shinji's here during the day today. Probably not. But I'm unscathed so far because nothing happened, but Issei, what was that crap you were saying?
遠坂狙いは趣味が悪いってことかい？
Yeah, that. Tosaka's popular. I haven't heard any bad rumors about her.
ああ、聞かないね。それがまた気に食わない。
What part bothers you?
だから全部だよ。あれは女狐だ。女性だ。妖怪だ。とにかく生理的に気に食わない。悪いことは言わないから、エミヤも気に入らないようにしろ。
I think this might be step one of people saying that he's gay. He just hates women, or at the very least, he just hates it when Shiro likes a woman. I don't know if he ever says anything bad about Sakura or something, but it's really funny. That just be like, I instinctually hate this woman. Shiro, you should stay close to me, away from her. Like, what? You're the one who always warns everyone not to talk about people behind their back.
たわけ。これが陰口に入るか。俺は聞こえるように喋っている。
Everybody should hear this. No wonder I sense people watching us. Well, that's a relief. I'm really glad Tosaka's absent today. Issei, please, can we talk a little quieter?
エミヤがそういうのなら了解した。いや、とりわけ中傷していたわけではないぞ。単に竜道一世が遠坂凛を警戒していると言っただけだ。あくまで個人の趣味思考の範囲だろう。
Yet you use words like vixen and minx. I'm pretty sure minx is definitely a derogatory term. Actually, minx isn't that bad. I'd say vixen is way worse.
何？褒め言葉だ。女狐にも妖怪にもいいものはいる。
There are no good vixens.
あくまで遠坂を表現する値として採用しただけである。かつ。
Issei laughs.
それではな。俺は生徒会室に戻るが、エミヤはバイトだろう。こんなところで道草を食っている暇はなかろう。
Well, you're the one that wasted his time. He was literally about to leave. He just went to check, then he was going to leave, and instead this conversation happened for no good reason. Issei leaves calm and composed, perhaps because he felt satisfied having said everything he wanted to say. I've known him for 2 years now, but honestly, I still don't get the guy. I ride the bus from school for 20 minutes. Arrive at Shinto. Not even 5 yet. Still have some time. There aren't many part-time jobs in the residential area of Miyama, but there are plenty in Shinto, since it's developing. My school allows students to hold part-time jobs, so I take on simple jobs. For my jobs to be physical, and the tougher and shorter they are, the better. I get paid all while training my body, so it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Today I'll work from 5 to 8 for a simple loading job. It may just be 3 hours of work, but it feels more like 6 hours since they make you work without a minute's rest, which means I need to rest when I have the opportunity, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Walking around aimlessly would be a waste of energy, so I decide to rest at a park until it's time. Is she going to show up again? Maybe. This park is settled between buildings, and it's like a giant plaza full of trees and shrubbery. A park should typically be filled with families and couples during weekends and holidays, but this one is deserted at this hour. In fairness, this place is always desolate, no matter the day or time. This place is the same as always, I sigh in exasperation. The area is unkept, and it's really pretty ugly compared to other places that are properly landscaped and maintained. And if the desolate location had set the mood, the wind itself blows cold and harsh. This place is a remnant of the great catastrophe that happened 10 years ago. It's the very place where I was saved from the brink of death. Why don't they seed some grass here or something? It's a shame to keep it like this. I mean, it looks fine to me, but I guess I know what they mean. The area is quite large, so if they leveled it, there'd be plenty of space to work on the park. I sit down on a bench as I think. With nothing else to do, I stare out over the burnt area to pass the time. I don't remember anything that happened here. The only thing I remember is that it was hot and I couldn't breathe. And that some people died trying to save others. Really? I wonder why that happened. One adult here died because they were trying to save a child from a burning house. Another person was offered all the available water to extinguish their raw, parched throat, while others in the same situation died. Someone here tried to flee the fire as fast as they could, but people left behind died. The people left behind died. As far as I'm aware, everybody died. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. And someone died here because they gave whatever it was that kept them alive to someone they didn't even know. I don't know what that means. I don't like thinking about that. Just thinking about people trying to help and becoming victims for their trouble makes me angry. Is it too much to ask for everyone to be saved and for them to get their happy ending afterwards? Yes, it is. Why can't everybody just be hyper competent like me, a 15, 16-year-old? Like what? Well, I want to see people peacefully prevail. Why can't that happen?
それは難しい。シロの言っていることは誰も彼も救うということだからね。
I'm gonna have to look into this. This voice sounds identical to the Japanese dub for Fate Zero, for Kiritsugu. That was Kiritsugu's response to the question when a very young me asked it. As a child, I obviously refused to accept that idea. But you saved me, Kiritsugu. I knew you were a magician, and you could do anything. I knew you were a champion of justice who wouldn't let anyone suffer, and you did it without asking for any reward. That's why I've always believed you managed to save everyone back then. What's that mean? I've always believed you managed to save everyone back then? I guess we'll see what's about to happen, but as far as I'm aware, he literally is just glad that he only was able to save Shiro because there was nobody else that he could save. So it's weird that Shiro's acting like there was other people he saved based on nothing, like based on no evidence. In response to me shouting this at him, Kiritsugu looked more troubled than I'd ever seen him and said something I remember to this day.
シロ、誰かを救うということは誰かを助けないということなんだ。いいかい？正義の味方に助けられるのはね、正義の味方が助けた者だけなんだよ。
That is true.
当たり前のことだけど、これが正義の味方の定義なんだ。
That is true. Yeah, I get that. And now that it's been pointed out, it seems so obvious. Imagine if there was a burglar and some hostages, and the burglar intends to kill the hostages. Under normal circumstances, a majority of the hostages would probably die. But if by some miracle all the hostages were saved, there's someone who didn't get saved. The burglar, of course, since saving hostages was done at the cost of his life. Well, not necessarily, but yes. I mean, theoretically, you could knock him out non-lethally, but the people the Champion of Justice saves are only those whom the Champion of Justice deems to save. That's why saving everyone is impossible. Even God can't do that. Especially if it's a natural disaster, no person is able to save everyone and everything. The fire 10 years ago was like that. As someone who was miraculously saved from the incident, it wasn't my place to say anything at this point. But I still don't like it. I don't want anything like that. I don't like the idea that there's a limitation to who can be saved. No matter how impossible it may be, I need to reach out to help. I can't stand to see people around me die like back then. If the person I am now had been there 10 years ago, I would have thrown myself into the fire. Then I would have died, and for nothing. like the hypocrisy that he just now showed. Like, hey, I'll think about all those other people who tried to save other people and died. I wanted to be one of those people who died for nothing, for failing to save anybody else. Like, but yeah, you could say that that is kind of the point of, like, that's his whole character. That would have happened for sure. Jeez, I can't even fantasize in my head. And yeah, like, he would have been like, what, 5, 6 years old? And yeah, he wouldn't have been able to save anybody. Probably. Oh crap, I can't believe it's already 5. A bell in the distance rings, chiming 5 o'clock. I get up from the bench and hurry to my part-time job. Weird that that field was like sepia toned like that. By the time I'm done working, the sun has long since set. It's a little before 8 o'clock. I finished about 10 minutes earlier because I kind of overworked myself. Maybe it's because I stopped by that park before work. That might have motivated me to push myself harder. At the train station, the night is just getting started. There are a bunch of people milling about and an endless stream of cars on the road. Guess there's no need for me to get something French food genie. I walk along the path as I gaze up at the lighted building. I don't know why he said that. No need for him to get something for her? It's the biggest building in Shinto, so I can't see all the way to the top. As I gaze at the building, enjoying the nighttime scenery... Huh? There's somebody up there? I think I see something bizarre. What is that? I stop and try to look to the very top. I squint, trying to bring what I see into focus, but it's like staring at grains of rice. I wonder who this would be. Oh, really? Oh, okay. She did this the first night? I guess I don't remember. It looks like someone I know, but I can't think why this girl I know would have a reason to be here. Doesn't seem like she's going to do anything up there. But she's just standing there, looking down at the city as the wind ruffles her hair. She doesn't seem to notice me down here. Actually, there's no way she could see me. Well, yeah, like, why did he even look up there? Like, it was fate. Anyway, like, every single time. It was fate. It was fated to happen. Even when my near-perfect vision, enhanced with Magecraft, can barely distinguish what's up there. I'm able to tell she's up there because she's isolated. But there's no way she would be able to pick me out of the crowd on the ground. She's just looking down at the town. It seems like she's looking for something. I can almost feel her sharp gaze even at this distance. This is really stupid, by the way, that we had the day 0 where we saw everything from her perspective. Like, I liked that part of the story, but like, imagine you got this without that previous part. Like, this would be way more mysterious and like, whoa, what's happening, you know? But instead it's like, oh no, we were just told about everything about servants already and the Holy Grail War. And so it's like, well, I guess I'm not going to be too shocked when everything happens then, because they've already revealed a lot of stuff. Like, not everything, of course, but like a lot still. I forget how long it's been, but I continue to look up at the girl standing in the void. She stands at the top of a high tower. She's like a magician, looking down at the surface world with the bright moon shining bright above behind her. Like a magician. Oh, and then she disappears, apparently done with whatever brought her up there. The rooftop stands empty, and the scenery returns back to nothing more than the beautiful night sky. Was that Tosaka up there? I can't be sure, but I'm probably right about who it was, at least. There aren't many girls I know who stand out like her, and besides, I'm not so out of it I'd fail to notice a girl I secretly admire. Okay, well, that was surprising. But it's also funny that he didn't mention specifically that how many other people would wear bright red. like Rin, you are literally wearing a bright red coat. Nobody else in Japan does this. No one. Huh? It's just Tosaka sure has a weird way of spending her time. Unlike Shinto, there is no sign of people anywhere in Miyama. There's nobody around after 8 at night, and the town is silent and still. The house I saw this morning stands across the intersection. There are no signs of life, and a no trespassing sign hangs over the front door. In just a single day, the house has fallen quiet, almost like an abandoned building. and a girl and her parents were killed by a burglar. I wonder what life waits now for the single child who survived. I bite my lip, frustrated by my powerlessness. I promised I'd be just like Kiritsugu, but I couldn't do anything, even when something like this happened so close to home. That's why I was wondering. I'm like, shouldn't he have been like, whoa, that was really close to my house, you know? I want to help people, but I don't even know what I can do. I reach the top of the hill where my house sits. Lights are on, so Fujini or Sakura are still inside. I'm home. Oh, it's just you, Fujini.
おかえりシロ
Fujini turns toward me, munching on a rice cracker. TV is tuned to a lively variety show.
もうまたこんな時間に帰ってきて。冬は日が暮れるのが早いんだから、もっと早くに帰ってきなさいって言ったでしょ。
I am home early. I had work until 8, so get off my back about that. So where's Sakura? I see dinner's already prepared.
さくらちゃんなら早めに帰ったわよ。今日は用事があるからって晩ご飯だけ作ってくれたの。
Fujini cheerfully replies, as far as she's concerned, anyone who makes her food is a good person. I see. That's probably a good thing for now. It's been dangerous lately, so maybe I'll take over making dinner until the new school term starts.
反対。シロ帰ってくるの遅いじゃない。それからご飯作ってたら食べるの10時過ぎになっちゃうよ。
Couldn't you just eat at home?
だからここが私の家だよ。
Fujini tilts her head, puzzled. Honestly, I'm not sure if a response like that should make me happy or sad. Sheesh, fine. I know it's pointless asking you to make dinner. By the way, what's that you got there? You didn't bring over more junk, did you? Fujini has a tendency to leave a bunch of junk here. She'll bring stuff like bowls from restaurants that are too big to be functional, an unnecessarily heavy earthen teapot, or a weird guitar that plays itself. She must think this place is a convenient storage or something. Show it to me. I'm going to toss it if it's trash.
うちで余ったポスターだけど。
Fujini hands me the poster. Probably a poster of some no-name singer. Let's see. I knew it. It's a poster of a young man wearing a military uniform, smiling with his thumbs up, all in front of a cheap-looking blue sky background. Caption on poster in bloody font: "Loves lovely Ranger Land." Can I see the poster? That sounds kind of funny. Come to the self-defense meetup. Hey, this is a recruitment poster for our youth group.
それいらないからあげるね。
I don't want this either. Quickly roll the poster back up and try to whack Fujini on the head with it.
へへん。外れ。
However, Fujini counters mercilessly with another poster she'd been holding. Conk, her poster sword bops me light. Really hard. Gah, stars! I see stars!
シロの腕で私に当てようなんて甘いわよ。悔しかったらもうちょっと腕を磨きなさいね。
That's not the issue here. How the hell does a paper poster make a sound like that? Did she manage some sort of technique only a true poster master can execute?
ごめんごめん。こっちのポスター初回特典版なんで豪華鉄板仕様だった。
Collector's edition made of fancy plate steel. What?
シロ、頭大丈夫？
Fujini, you're going to end up killing someone one of these days.
その時はシロがお嫁にもらってくれるから安心かな。
Yeah, not a chance. I'm not marrying a natural born killer.
私そんな物騒なのじゃないと思う。
You would be that unaware of your actions. Pray that I survive. I'll have to be very careful from now on if I'm going to have any hope of avoiding being murdered.
ふんだ、言ってなさい。そんなことよりシロ、私お腹減った。今まで待ってたんだから早くご飯の用意しよう。
Fujini gets up. What's up with Fujini? She must be really hungry if she's offering to help, even if it's just help setting the table. Fine, then you take out the plates and bowls. You can at least scoop the rice into bowls, right?
告げるよ。ねえシロ、私丼でいいかな。
That shouldn't be a problem. Sakura's not here today, so we'll definitely have leftovers.
よしよし。それじゃ、シロもお揃いね。
Fujini scoops mounds of rice into the two large bowls. Whatever, I was going to go for a second helping anyway, and if I meddle in what Fujini does now, we may really not have any dinner. Besides, this is a kind of chaotic scene dinner at my home has been for years. Another day ends. We finish our rowdy dinner, and after I see off Fujini, I take a bath. After that, I head to the shed for my daily training. Complete it as usual, then go to sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. The day ends peacefully and without incident. What? Freaking what? I was wrong? I thought the event happens this day. What? This is too many days of nothing major happening. This is absurd. Okay, I guess we'll see how far we can get. Sheesh. Yeah, and that was only a 1 hour day. Like, that's crazy. But I mean, honestly, no. I mean, it should have been. I should have gotten through that even faster, honestly. Like, that's crazy how long that was, considering almost nothing happened. It was almost identical to the first day. Like, a little bit of differences here and there, but very, very minor. I'm in a fire. House crumbles and people burn. Houses crumble. No matter where I go, all I see is crimson. This is what I saw 10 years ago. Long forgotten memory of the past. Run through the scenery, recreating what happened. I know it's a nightmare. There's no way to escape. Run, run, keep running. Every time the scene ends with me as a child running out of energy and getting rescued. I wake up feeling wrong. A hand to my forehead tells me I'm sweating, even though it's winter. Oh, it's late. The clock reads past 6. Hear the soft sound of chopping from the kitchen. Sakura's early again. Not really the time to be impressed by what an early riser she is. I need to hurry up and get ready so I can help her with breakfast.
Shiro, 今日どうするのよ? 土曜日だから午後はアルバイト?
My guess is that when Sakura's at home, I don't know how bad it is, but like, I'm assuming that's just so bad that like all she does is go to sleep and that's it. It feels like we didn't get much information about that in the animes, from what I remember. Like, the implication is that she was abused, but like, I don't know how much it actually happened. Or what Shinji even did when he was home, honestly. No, not today. I might help Issei out. Why do you ask?
別に暇だったら道場の方に遊びに来てくんないかなって。私、今月ピンチなのだ。
Bind? Why?
お財布事情がピンチなの。誰かがお弁当作ってくれると嬉しいんだけどな。
Yeah, not happening. It's your mess. You can afford to miss a meal or two.
シロには期待してないもん。私が頼りにしてるのはさくらちゃんだけなんだからね、さくらちゃん。はい、私と同じものでよろしければ用意しておきますね、先生。オッケーオッケー。じゃあ今日は一緒にお昼を食べましょう。
Breakfast goes smoothly. Today's menu includes the typical sides. Main dish is braised lotus root, konnyaku, and chicken. Sakura probably didn't need to make such an elaborate dish for breakfast, but I'm guessing she made extra to pack for lunch. Sakura is a member of the Kyoto Club, and Fujini is the club's faculty advisor. Nobody would think it was weird for the two of them to have the same lunch.
そういえばシロ、今朝は遅かったけど何かあった？
Fujini looks my way as she sips her miso soup. As much as she's just kind of out there most of the time, she's pretty sharp about this kind of thing. Had a dream about the past and woke up feeling crappy, that's it.
なんだ、いつものことか。なら安心かな。
It's not an interesting topic for Fujini, so she shifts the conversation in another direction. That doesn't bother me one bit. 10 years ago, I used to have nightmares a lot, back when I couldn't shake the memory of that fire. But as time went on, those nightmares grew less and less frequent, and I've gotten to the point where the dreams don't bother me anymore. I've been told my nightmares were pretty bad back then, though. Fujini was already with us by then, and she's been sensitive about changes in me since.
シロ、食欲はある？
今朝に限ってないとかない？
Nope, I'm fine. So quit using my dream as an excuse to try stealing my food.
シローが強くなってくれて嬉しいけど、もうちょっと繊細でいてくれた方がいいな、お姉ちゃんは。
Right back at you, since I'm basically your younger brother. I kind of wish you'd ended up more delicate and sweet yourself. We both huff and turn our heads away from each other. Seeing that as a sign that I'm fine, Fujini smiles in relief. Honestly, I appreciate her consideration, but I know she'll get an ego about it if I say it directly, so I pretend to grunt and protest instead. Sakura looks puzzled by our interaction. Soon after Fujini leaves, I lock up and Sakura and I leave as well.
先輩、
Wait
今
a
日の夜
second.
から月曜日まで
Wait a second.
お手伝いに来れませんけど、よろしいですか？
Sorry, wait a second. Wait a second. Sorry. I'm doing a text. Sorry about that. Okay. I won't be able to come out from tonight until Monday. Will that be alright? That's fine. Besides, it's the weekend. I bet you have friends to hang out with, so don't worry about me. I don't think she has friends.
そんな、違います。そういうんじゃないです。本当に個人的な用事で、ちゃんと部活にだって出るんですから。だから、何かあったら道場に来てくれれば何とかします。別に土日だからって遊びに行くわけじゃないです。 だから変な勘違いはしないでもらえると助かります。
What? Sakura's acting suspicious, or rather, she seems nervous. I don't know why, but it's probably just that she can't come over the weekend. Got it. I'll go to the Joe if I need anything.
はい、そうしてもらえれば嬉しいです。
Sakura sighs in relief. But the moment Sakura lowers her gaze, her expression stiffens.
先輩って。
Sakura is staring at my left hand. I look down and see blood trickling from it. Huh? Pull up my shirt sleeve. Yep, blood. The hell? Did I cut myself from something last night? But I don't feel any pain. It looks like there's a welt on my hand. The bruise stretches all the way from my shoulder to the back of my hand. I think this might be partially the man, I'm blanking on the words. The command spells. I mean, the back of the hand makes sense for the bruise, but I don't know why the bruise. Wait, but it says the bruise stretches all the way from my shoulder to the back of my hand. Like, the pain would be one thing, but the actual bruise itself, the bruise should only be on the hand. It looks like a snake that's trying to reach my palm from the top of my shoulder. Maybe this is the original idea that was just never used after this. She'll recognize this. Probably. But yeah, maybe it's like it starts from the shoulder and then like the lines from the command spell just kind of snake down, and eventually all of the lines come to the hand, is my guess. Well, it doesn't hurt. I'm sure it'll go away soon. But then he also said it was bleeding, so that's also weird. I don't think it's anything to worry about.
はい、先輩がそう言うのでしたら気にしません。
The sight of the blood probably made Sakura sick, since she's keeping her head down. Wait a second. Oh yeah, okay. Sakura heads to the club while I head to the school building. The schoolyard is filled with athletic members, practically brimming with enthusiasm, but something feels strange. Everything in the school is as usual. Students exercising lively, the new school building is spotless. Maybe it's just my imagination. But when I close my eyes, the mood changes drastically. The building walls feel stained, like membranes have latched onto them, and the students themselves seem like empty dolls. Maybe I'm just tired. I shake my head to clear it and head on to the campus. Yeah, it's the thing that Rin already mentioned about the what was it? Barrier. School ends early on Saturdays. Classes end in the morning, but by the time I finish helping Issei, the sun is starting to set. Guess it's time to go home. Pack my bag and leave the classroom. But then,
なんだまだ学校にいたんだエミヤ
I ran into Shinji. There are a few girls behind him making a small commotion.
やることもないくせにまだ残ってたのああそうかまた生徒会にごますってたわけねいいねエミヤは部活なんてやんなくても内心稼げるんだからさ
This is an interesting song. I've never heard this one before. Wait a second. Kind of fixing the screen. Sorry. I think that's pretty accurate to the screen right now. Looks good to me. Okay. Now it's just like the borders, fixing the borders. I'm not helping the student council, I'm just helping the school by repairing old equipment since we all use it.
よく言うよ。エミヤに言わせればなんだって当たり前だからね。そういういい子ぶりが勘に触るって前に言わなかったっけ？
Don't remember. I probably wasn't listening if you did. You say that kind of stuff all the time.
そうかい。それじゃあ学校にあるものなら何でも直してくれるんだ、エミヤは。
It's impossible to fix everything. The most I can do is take care of things.
よし。なら頼まれてくれよ。うちの弓道場さ、今割と散らかってるんだよね。弦も巻いてないのが溜まってるし、安土の掃除もできてない。暇ならさ、そっちの方もよろしくやってくれないかな。
Definitely sounds like something your club should do yourself,
元
but
弓
sure.
道部員だろ。生徒会になんか尻尾振ってないで、たまには僕たちの役に立ってくれ。
ちょっと先輩、それって先輩が藤村先生に言われてたことじゃなかった？
そうですよ。ちゃんとやっておかないと明日怒られますよ。
These girls are really annoying.
でもさ、今から片付けしてたら店閉まるじゃん。そこの人がやってくれるんならそれでいいんじゃないの？
悪いよ。それに部外者に後片付けなんかできるわけないし。
Outsider.
そうでもないんじゃない？あの人元弓道部員だってシンジが言ってるしさ、任せちゃえばいいのよ。
The girls behind Shinji are awfully chatty. They seem to be archery members, but since I don't recognize any of them, they must be the members Shinji recruited recently.
じゃあ、あとはよろしく。鍵の場所は変わってないから勝手にやっといてよ。文句ないよね、エミヤ。
No, I don't mind. I've got some time on my hands, so it's no problem.
サンキュー。それじゃあ行こうぜみんな。つまんない雑用はあいつがやっといてくれるってさ。
待ってよ先輩。じゃああとはよろしくお願いしますね先輩。
He was a bit more condescending in the anime, but let's be real, not that much more. I cleaned the archery dojo without any problems since I'm familiar with it. It's a big room, so it took a while, but it was kind of fun cleaning the place I used to spend so much time in until a year and a half ago. Midway through, I considered trying to shoot a bit, but decided not to. It would be rude to the owner of the bow. If I want to shoot, all I have to do is bring in my own bow and visit. Look at the time and it's way past curfew. It's a little after 7. The school gates must be closed by now, so there's no need for me to rush out. Not that I look closely. I don't remember the dojo being so dirty before. There's dirt and grime all over the place, like behind the bow rest in the club room. Well, I guess another hour or two wouldn't make much of a difference at this point. I've already started, so I might as well clean every nook and cranny. His cleaning, obsession, OCD, is what got him into this whole situation, kinda. The wind is starting to pick up. It's so cold my cheeks start to sting. Ryuki typically isn't cold at night during winter, but tonight's certainly an exception. My breath fogs the air with every exhale. No wonder it's darker than usual. The moon's hidden tonight. I look up and there's no light in the sky. Strong winds send the clouds speeding across the night sky. Curfew is long past, and there's no sign of life in this empty school. Not so much as a sound can be heard on campus, and it seems to be covered with colder air than any place in town. I think I heard something. I do hear something. Is it coming from the schoolyard? That night, under the frosty sky. I guess I just got curious about the sound that broke the hushed silence. I headed toward the sound to investigate. Got to the schoolyard. Is that people? It looks that way, at least from a distance. It's just so damn dark. I need to get closer if I want to find out more. The sound grows louder, more intense. I know that sound. It's clashing metal. It sounds like a fight. This is so stupid. What the hell am I thinking? I'm being stupid, obviously. Who would ever fight in a school courtyard with weapons like that? And then, it was probably a gut instinct that sensed the danger. Or maybe keeping out of sight as I approached was just a stroke of luck. Whatever the reason, I hid behind a tree big enough to conceal me. took a closer look at the source of the sound. There, my mind froze. What? I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. A man in red and a man in blue. The two of them are clad in armor so ancient it's several steps beyond old-fashioned. It's a ridiculous sight, but their rapid, deadly movement makes clear that their fight is no joke. I just want to throw out here that Archer is not wearing ancient, old-fashioned clothes at all. Not even vaguely old-fashioned. I mean, I know that I say a lot of spoilers in this, but like, I'm not going to go into that, but let's just say it's not extremely old-fashioned. And Lancer here, now technically it is old-fashioned, but I wouldn't even say that it's period accurate. You know, he's like from, I don't know what century, but like, let's say like 500 AD. A bodysuit ain't from 500 AD. He should be wearing like furs or leathers, you know, like at most. Yeah, a bodysuit is just like, I don't know. I don't understand. I can't even follow their movements. They're too fast. Their movements look so surreal. My mind can't function properly. The sound of their clashing weapons is the only thing convincing me the two of them are actually fighting to the death. But there's one thing I'm sure about. They're not human. They have to be something else in the guise of humans. My magecraft training isn't why I know this. Anyone could see that these two aren't human. To start, humans just can't move like that. By the way, this isn't true. This is basically not true at all. Because, as far as we're aware, heroic spirits, while they are generally enhanced from when they were alive, there are plenty of them who aren't actually enhanced and are in fact are just one-to-one recreations of what they were when they were alive. But to be fair, a lot of them are demigods, or like spirits. But like, there's plenty of them that would be able to move this fast and be a normal human. But you know, like they're just enhanced, you know, magically enhanced people basically. Like a mage, oh my gosh. Like, you can't move like that. It's like, what if you were just a really strong mage? Actually, now that I think about it, Hiritsugu and Konomine both could move about this fast. And they're both just normal humans, technically. So that's really funny that he says that. Nobody should get involved with whatever that is. I can feel their intent to kill even from a distance. I'm going to die. My body instinctively knows before my brain kicks in that I just won't live if I stay here. How the heck do they notice him though? Like, sure, they're watching him, but like these two should be like so engrossed in what they're doing that how would they even notice Shiro, who's not a threat and who's far away and doesn't make a noise? How would they notice that he was there? My racing heart is proof of that. I sense they're living things designed only to kill. No knife or blade would be a match for whatever they're wielding. They are clearly meant only to kill. I suddenly remember yesterday's murders. The family that fell victim is said to have been killed by a bladed weapon. Yeah, I don't know. Like, they imply that it was Lancer, but like I don't know why he would do that. So like I really don't know. Damn, I shouldn't stay and watch another second. But I can't move a muscle. I can hardly breathe. My mind is telling me to flee. But something else tells me they'll find me the second I move. More than any internal conflict, though, I am just paralyzed. I guess if you didn't move, technically that would have been the better option, though. I'm more than 40 meters away from them. I still imagine getting stabbed in the back with that spear. I can't breathe. 40 meters. I mean, it's fairly close, to be fair. The sound stops. The two figures separate and stand, facing each other. Oh, this is what happens. Just as I'm starting to feel a sense of relief that the fight's over, another, stronger sense of malice creeps over me. What? My heart feels like it's shriveling up in my chest. The numbness in my body turns to convulsions, and I clench my teeth in an effort to compose myself. Unbelievable. Who the hell is that guy? A nauseatingly high amount of magical energy flows into the man in blue. Kiritsugu once demonstrated to me how to draw in magical energy from one's surroundings. It was a kind of magecraft so beautiful that it impressed even an apprentice mage like me. But this is different. The same way even the simple act of drinking water can look revolting if done excessively. The man in blue appears to be binge eating. The sight is so extreme that anyone with magical energy would find it repulsive. Really? That seems a little weird. I feel like him saying this is actually like incorrect. Just straight up. He's going to die. The man in red is dead meat. The attack will be infused with more magical energy than anyone could possibly defend against. He's going to die. That inhuman something in the guise of a man is going to die. But can I? Can I just let this happen? That question shakes me out of my paralysis. My body is suddenly free and I take a deep breath. And then he's like, I heard that breath. Who's there? That man in blue glares in my direction. Huh? The man in blue crouches in a way that tells me one thing. I'm his new target. My legs are moving before I even have the thought of running. The rest of my body finally realizes it's time to flee for my life. And suddenly all my energy is being poured into doing exactly that. I don't remember where I ran through or how I got there, but I'm in the school building. Real genius here. I regret my own actions as a huff and puff. I should have run toward town. I mean, not necessarily. I've got to be the world's biggest idiot thinking I can escape by running into an empty building. Honestly, that's not that bad of a choice. Especially since it's a building that you know. Like, normally you should be able to actually hide in the building that you know, rather than just running into a generic residential area and being like, I guess I'll run here or hide here, I guess. I mean, like, I don't know. A school full of places. There must have been other, better places to hide. And what the hell convinced me I'd die if I didn't run to begin with? My chest burns from all the running. I turn around, but I don't sense anything pursuing me. The only sound is my own footsteps. I can finally stop. My feet can barely move another step. I gulp down lungfuls of air, trying to slow my heart down, and I breathe as a sigh of relief. I survived. God, what the hell was that? I try to recall what I just saw as I catch my breath. One thing's for sure, I definitely wasn't meant to see that. Things that looked human fighting in the schoolyard at night. That's all I can really remember. But I had seen something else out of the corner of my eye. I think there was also someone else. I can't remember what they looked like, though. Honestly, I couldn't afford to look at anything other than the two figures locked in combat. But finally... The voice comes from right in front of me. I can't breathe. My mind goes blank. I can't think. But I know that I'm going to die. And with that, he raises his spear. No mercy, no compassion. His spear pierces my heart. I didn't even have time to dodge. No training I ever did prepared me for this. I knew I was going to die. You know, he says this, but like, I'm really wondering how the events of the rest of the whole game occur when he couldn't even outrun or dodge Cuchulainn. Now, to be fair, Cuchulainn is supposed to be known for his speed and accuracy. But is he like... I mean, it's a little hard to tell and compare... Like, tell how powerful he is and compare him to the rest of the entire cast. I don't know if... I don't know. It's weird. Because, like, what he does in the rest of the story is really bizarre. Just, like, because he's so uninvolved. But, like, he could be the fastest character in the whole game. Nobody else is really standing out to me right now. And the most precise also, I mean, like technically Archer should be more precise, but like with his weapon, like speed and then stab, like he might be the best at doing that type of thing. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, generally. The world distorts around me. My body grows cold. Numbness creeps from my fingertips into the rest of me. I cough up blood once. I felt like there should have been more, but it was just the one cough. That spear must have been special. Or like literally it just stabbed me in the heart, and that was all there was to it actually. My blood slows and grows stagnant. My heart just stops, all from a single strike of that spear? Oh, it must have been a special spear, because normally people don't just die from getting stabbed in the heart by a spear, right? Oh wait, that's literally exactly how people used to die. So the guy, like, this is like from a guy, by the way, who'd probably never seen a spear in his life. So like, what? I can't see anything. I don't feel anything. I'm like a jellyfish floating in the dark sea at night. Stopped feeling pain long ago. The world has turned white. I'm the lone dark spot. So rather than being aware that I died, it just feels like everything around me has ceased to exist. I know this. I experienced the same thing 10 years ago. This is what dying feels like. Really though? Like, getting stabbed in the heart is no different than smoke inhalation? You know? Like what?
死人に口なしってな。弱いやつがくたばるのは当然といえば当然だが。
My eyes can't focus.
嫌な仕事をさせてくれる。このざまで英雄とは笑い草だ。
I can only hear his
分か
voice.
っている。文句はないさ。女のサーバントは見たんだ。おとなしく戻ってやるよ。
He sounds so irritated. Afterwards, I hear footsteps fading down the
ア
hallway.
ーチャーか。蹴りをつけておきたいところだが、マスターの方針を破るわけにもいくまい。まったく、いけすかねえマスターだこと。
I have no idea what he's talking about, even based on what I know from the anime. I don't, in this context, I don't know what his master's plan even is. The voice suddenly disappears. He must have jumped out the window. Afterwards, the footsteps I heard earlier stop. There's an awkward silence, then footsteps again. I can't hear that well anymore.
追ってアーチャー。ランサーはマスターのところに戻るはず。
Yeah, we already
せ
know
めて
this.
相手の顔ぐらい把握しないと。
Muster up my concentration as my mind fades, but I still can't put my finger on it. All I can hear now is the sound of my breathing. My lungs must still be functioning. Like, I thought he said he instantly died. Like, what? I hear a loud whistling sound coming from my mouth, like a passing typhoon.
その割にはまだ死んでないってのはすごいな。
Sense somebody peering into my face. My breathing must be loud as the person reaches their finger out to try to close my mouth.
やめてよね。なんだってあんたが。
Whoever it is, they grit their teeth, seeming troubled. The moment I hear that sound, the person touches me without hesitation.
破損した臓器を偽造して代用。その間に心臓一つ丸々修復か。こんなの成功したらと抵当に一発合格ってレベルじゃない。
But at that moment, my fading consciousness finally flickers to nothing. Sensation returns to my body. Slowly, little by little, my bodily functions return, like dewdrops trickling down a leaf. Drip, drip. What's going on? The person hovering over me is sweating, intensely focusing on where their hands are pressed against my chest. The next thing I know, the palm over my chest grows extremely hot. It's so hot, my corpse jolts and my cold, stagnant blood starts to flow again. I sense the person take a deep breath and sit down.
疲れた。
I hear something fall.
まあ仕方ないか。ごめんなさい、父さん。あなたの娘はとんでもなく薄情者です。
That was it. The person mocks themselves and leaves. My heart resumes beating, and then I finally pass out. But it's not the everlasting sleep I expected. I fall into a slumber, bound to wake up again. So then how does Lancer come back to finish off Shiro? That's so weird. I wake suddenly. I feel sick and my entire body aches every time my heart beats. A sharp pain stabs my head. What happened? My intense headache prevents me from remembering anything. My body is cold and stiff, likely because I've been sleeping in the hallway for a long time. The only thing I can figure out is that the chest area of my uniform is torn. My blood stains the hall floor. My head feels hazy as I get up. The spot where I'd been lying looks like a murder scene. Damn, seriously? Was my chest stabbed? I fight down a surge of nausea as I head into a nearby classroom. Staggering, I open a closet and pull out a rag and a bucket. Huh? What the hell am I thinking? I'm still confused. I encountered something unbelievable, then it murdered me, but here I am, still trying to clean up after myself. How stupid can I be? Damn, it's not coming out. Yeah, that's really interesting that this is in the anime. So it's silly, but like that's kind of like his character. I wipe at the floor with a rag I found. I managed to wipe off the blood despite the incredible weakness in my whole body, then gather up everything scattered around the floor and shove it in my pockets. This may be my way of hiding any evidence. Yeah, he grabbed the necklace. I must be doing some stupid stuff because my head's all hazy. Put the rag and bucket away and stagger out of school like a zombie. My body heats up with every step I take. It's so cold outside, yet my body seems to be on fire. Like, I get it that why Rin didn't stick around, but it is kind of funny that she helps him, but then she just like abandons him and he's like barely staggering to get home. But like, I guess she just thought, yeah, he can just, get back. By the time I reach my house, the date has changed. There's nobody in the house. Sakura and even Fujini left long ago. I collapse on the floor. Lying on the floor is what lets me finally calm down a bit. I inhale deeply. My heart feels like it cracks every time my chest expands to draw in air. Actually, it's the opposite. It's not that my heart is cracking. The hole in my heart was just patched up, so expanding my chest opens the wound. So I really was almost killed. That's almost not true. I wasn't almost killed. I was killed, but someone saved me, and now I'm alive. I wonder who it was. I would really like to thank them. If they were in the area, it means they could be involved with the people fighting, but still doesn't change the fact that they saved me, so I need to thank them properly one day. The moment I drop my guard, the pain returns. At the same time, nausea strikes me. I sit up to hold nausea at bay. I place my hand on my bare chest where the uniform is torn. I might have been saved, but my chest was, as a matter of fact, pierced. That feeling, the agony of the spear tip piercing my chest, isn't something I can easily forget. Damn, I'm going to have nightmares about this for a while. When I close my eyes, I feel the spear thrust again. Try to shake that delusion off, and I make every effort to regain my composure. Good, I'm calming down. This must be thanks to my nightly training. My thoughts clear as I take slow, deep breaths. The fever and nausea abate a bit. About what happened? The man in blue and the man in red. They looked human, but I know they're not. They could have been ghosts of some kind, but I've never heard of ghosts having forms that allow them to interact with humans like that. And the thing was talking, which makes it a little harder to believe it was a ghost, if it had a will of its own. From what I've heard, the only spirits that possess physical bodies are the elemental types. But I thought elementals didn't look human. I mean, they can, I think? But okay, we won't go into that. Well, that's not the issue here. There's a more fundamental issue. Those two were trying to kill each other, and there was a robbery and a murder at a house nearby. Eerie stuff like that has been plaguing Fuyuki lately. With all of this in mind, the only conclusion I can come to is that the situation is out of my control. If only the old man was alive right now. I guess that was kind of whiny, but I'll put it down to the patched up chest wound that still feels raw. Idiot. I've already decided to do whatever I can, even if I don't understand what's going on. I can complain later. First of all, I need to decide whether I should get involved or not. The bell on the roof of the house rings. No matter what anyone says, this house is still a mage's house. A bounded field is set around it. If there's ever an intruder in the area, an alarm bell rings. A burglar at this hour? I berate myself for my own idiocy. Of course it's not a burglar. Given the timing, right after that weird incident, there's definitely an intruder. It's no burglar, it's an assassin. They're here to take my life, not property. Because that man said so himself. You saw what you saw, so you gotta die. The house is dead silent. That same murderous intent I felt at school, creeping closer through the hushed darkness. I gulp. A chill prickles like needles along my spine. It's no illusion, and it's not my imagination. I know that the moment I leave this room, I'll be stabbed again. I desperately try to contain my scream. The instant I scream, the assassin will just leap right in and kill me. And that would just be a repeat of what happened before. I'm not prepared, and I'm going to be impaled again. My breathing grows labored as soon as that thought crosses my mind. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself for being afraid, and I'm mad that I've put myself in a situation where I'll so easily lose my life after it was saved earlier this same damn day. I grip my teeth and hold my hand tight over my wounded chest to restrain myself. I need to get used to this. This is the second time. This is the second time I'm about to die. Third, but okay. That alone motivates me not to die so pathetically as last time. Am I not a mage after all? And if I can't even defend myself from this, what were my 8 years of training for? Fine, bring it on. I'm not going to agonize over complicated things anymore. Right now, I just need to drive away whoever's here. I need to find a weapon. I may call myself a mage, but the only thing I can do is reinforce something that might work as a weapon. You need a weapon to fight, after all. There's plenty of things that might work as a weapon in the storehouse, but I'm not anywhere near there. If I leave the living room and get ambushed, I'm just going to expose myself and it'll be a repeat of what happened earlier. It won't be easy, but I've got to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be good. My opponent's weapon of choice is a spear, so a knife would be all but useless. I disagree on that, but okay. A wooden sword would be best, but I obviously don't have one just lying around. I think I'd prefer a short wooden knife that's metal over a long wooden sword. Even if you're going to enhance it, improve it or whatever. You know, it still would be more durable if it's metal. Something around here that might be suitable as a weapon. Whoa, there's only the poster of Fujini left. I can't help but feel utterly dejected, but the desperation makes me all the more determined. So this is funny, because I actually do remember in the anime him doing this, grabbing the magazine and defending himself with this after enhancing it. And I remember thinking, that's really stupid. Like, yeah, he can enhance it, but it's still paper at the end of the day. But because now that I've read the visual novel, she did say that technically there is some metal in this stupid magazine, so it actually does have a degree of sense. But I still want to mention that, like, it's still really thin metal, like, right? Like, so, like, I still think it would be better if you just got a knife. Like, it's so weird. Can't help but feel utterly dejected, but the desperation makes me all the more determined. Situation's so bad it can't really get any worse, and all that's left for me to do is to move forward until I have no energy left. Trace on. I speak my incantation and inject magical energy into the rolled up 60 centimeter poster. 60 centimeter. So it's like half of a meter. So that would be like a foot long. Maybe a foot and a half, possibly. But probably like a foot long. I mean, you could have a pretty long knife. I guess knives are normally like more like 6 inches though. Still. I try to imbue as much magical energy as I possibly can into the poster to solidify it, since it needs to work as a weapon to go up against that spear. Also, that spear is like a mythical weapon. Should it really be able to be blocked by an enhanced metal poster type thing? Composition, analyze. I focus my consciousness. Magical energy permeates the poster as if I'm staining its fibers with my own blood. Composition, reinforce. I feel that I've hit the end. Right before magical energy spreads throughout the poster and spills out, I say, trace off. I cut off my connection with the poster. I tremble with excitement. The poster is hard as steel, but its weight remains the same as before. It's turned out great for a hastily improvised wet sword. I did it. How long has it been since my strengthening magecraft succeeded? This is actually really stupid though. Like, I feel like he should, like, this is so basic, he should at least be able to do this. It'd be another thing if he's trying to do something more complex than this, but like, this is like the bare minimum of what he's been trying to do this whole time. And he's implying that he's probably done it less than 10 times or something. My magecraft hasn't worked ever since Kiritsugu died. Really? And so for it to succeed at a time like this seems ironic. It's not ironic, it's appropriate. Your life is in danger. But that's really interesting. His magecraft hasn't worked ever since Kiritsugu died. Like, that's a really big deal. That's a long time, too. Either way, now I may be able to defend myself. I at least have some discipline in swordsmanship. I grip the poster with both hands and stand in the middle of the living room. If I stay here, I'm dead, but I don't think I can make it outside the mansion either. So I just need to head to the shed and make a stronger weapon there. Phew. Just as I start trying to hype myself up, every hair on my body stands on end. I'm not sure when he got in, but the guy drops from the ceiling and straight towards me. What? Silvery flash strikes my head from above. I can only assume he came through the ceiling and he descended on me, meaning to skewer my head. Why you? I roll forward in a frantic dodge. The man lands with inhuman grace as I clumsily roll out of the way. Stop myself quickly and get to my feet, makeshift sword at the ready. The guy turns lazily, looking bored. Like, it's really stupid that he waited for Shiro to make a weapon before attacking him. Unless he actually did it on purpose, I guess. He shifts the spear to his other hand in a slow, fluid motion. I don't know why, but he doesn't seem as aggressive as he did at the school, which might give me a chance at escaping him. He's complaining to himself, like I'm not even here. I slowly retreat back out of the room. Only 3 more meters until I reach the window. Slowly? You should be going fast. I'll run out, then it's only about 20 meters to the shed once I reach the yard. Then I should quickly... He says it almost absent-mindedly, like it was just an afterthought. Gah! Pain shoots up my right arm. It all happens in an instant. He thrusts his spear forward, not even giving me time to react. I should have died for a second time right there. The makeshift sword in my hand spared me that fate. He probably thought I'd just been holding a rolled up paper. He struck as if I hadn't been holding anything at all, but the reinforced paper sword deflected attack, so it only grazed my arm. But yeah, again, this is a mystical spear, and yet it's held back by steel, magical reinforced steel, technically, more or less, but that's still stupid. His expression goes blank. His casual attitude from earlier vanishes entirely. He watches me now like a feral animal eyeing his prey. Ah, crap, I was clearly wrong, thinking things would be okay. This thing before me is some kind of demon, unbound by logic. I keenly realized that letting my guard down even for a second was beyond ludicrous. That's right. Desperate as things are, I should have just made a break for the window. Yeah, right after whatever miracle let me dodge his strike from above. What are you waiting for? You already said that the shed is your lifeline. The end of his spear points towards me. I can't block that. There's no way I'll be able to block that swift attack. I could have at least braced myself if he had a sword, no matter how fast he might be with it. Huh? You can still stab somebody with a sword, like right at him. Like what? He's holding a spear. A sword is a whole line, but a spear is only a point. I mean, a sword can be stabbed at a point too. Technically, a sword is actually more powerful because it's got sharp sides, a point and sharp sides, whereas a spear only has a point. So, like, I know you use them differently, but I'm just saying, like, you can also use them the same. How am I supposed to block a point when I can't even see how fast it moves? The man drops into a lower stance. In a flash, the spear swings sideways. I instinctively parried the blow aimed at my face. It's a cyclone. I'm not sure how he's moving his spear in this small room, but it traces a beautiful arc without even touching the walls. The next swing comes from the opposite side, aiming at my torso. Gah, the force of the swing bends my makeshift sword as I try to parry. Monstrous. Is that a hammer he's swinging? Damn, the numbness in my arms is telling me that they might be broken. Why you? I instinctively swing my sword. He must be mocking me with the way he keeps flicking his spear at my sword without drawing back at all. Good. Numbness creeps into my arms after going on the attack. My makeshift sword bends even more, and the man's spear changes trajectory slightly. His music is so weirdly edgy. He moves like this is just a game. Such confidence. He'd been letting me take a swing at him after he took a couple shots at me. I wasted my one opportunity as nothing more than a stopgap, so he sees no point in continuing this. The man readies his spear again. Don't jump to conclusions. During that microscopic opening, say what you want, dumbass. I don't turn my back to look. I just leap backwards through the window finally. Oh my gosh. Like, why is he even fighting at all? Like, even if you could hit the guy, 1, you don't have a sharp weapon. 2, he's probably physically more durable than a human, right? My back shatters the window and I roll out into the yard. Roll a few times, spring upwards, and I blindly make my next move. I twist my entire body and swing behind myself. He was ready for the attack, I guess. I managed to bat the man's spear aside, and he hesitates for just an instant. I knew it. If I jumped out the window, he was going to have to chase after me, and he would catch up to me and go in for the kill before I had the chance to get up. But I also was able to precisely know the exact half second before I was about to be hit by the spear. Like, that's stupid. So I expected his fatal blow and swung my sword to the side with all my might at the exact completely perfect time, by the way, because he did this without even seeing his attack, by the way. It was a risky move. He'd have killed me if I had been even a second late. Yeah, and I'd have been just as dead if I was too early too. But knowing the incredible gap in our skill, I figured there was no way I could have been early, I guess. Sheesh. The one thing I had to do was to get up as quickly as I could and parry the attack I knew would be coming at my back. The gamble pays off and my swing deflects the spear. I quickly repositioned myself. Now I just need to run to the shed while he's still confused. Huh? He's not holding the spear anymore now, and he's right in front of me. He turns on the spot in a roundhouse kick. Scenery goes flying by. My chest goes numb where he kicked me. I can't breathe. The big surprise? I'm actually flying through the air. I never thought a guy kicking me would send me into the air like a damn ball. Ugh, I fall hard on my back. I slam into a wall and the impact likely breaks my back. No, it didn't. And slide down to the ground. I can't breathe. My vision blurs. By stroke of luck, he's thrown me into the shed I wanted to reach. I lean against the wall trying to rouse myself. I try to track the man through my blurry eyes. He kicked me nearly 20 meters away. The guy picks up his spear and rushes toward me. I'm going to die. There's nothing I can do now. He's going to reach me. If I don't want to die, I need to get up and parry his hit. The tip of the spear surges. I can't even look back at him. My body, on the verge of collapse, practically greets the spear. With dumb luck, my knees give out. I can't hold myself up. The spear goes over my head and violently impales the shed's heavy door and pushes it open. This is like a comical series of errors, isn't it? It also makes Cuchulainn look really bad. Like, this is a lot of stuff that Cuchulainn is just like, oh, I missed. Oh, I tripped. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed him again. Oh, I missed again. Sheesh, man. Sheesh. And this is my last chance. If only I could get inside the shed. There should be something I can use as a weapon. I crawl into the shed on all fours. Just then, he launches the spear at me. Damn you! I block it. I open up the rolled up poster to create a single-use shield. The impact makes a dull sound. The poster, unrolled, probably isn't that strong. It blocks the spear, but it tears apart, returning to a normal piece of paper. Right? That's what I was thinking too. Like, really? The spear's impact flings me against the wall. I fall on my butt and try to get my heart beating again after it feels like it's trying to quit on me. The moment I raise my head to try grab something to use as a weapon. The man points his spear in front of my face. I can't do anything else right now. His spear is pointed directly at my heart. I know this feeling. It's the scent of death assailing my nostrils, reminding me of the pain I felt a few hours ago. Well, no kidding. I mean, he's still 15. Like, sheesh. I don't hear the man's voice. My attention is focused on the weapon pointed at me. Obviously. The moment he thrusts, I'm dead. What else is there to do? There to think at this point? His arm jerks. I wasn't able to see his movement earlier, but now I see every last one in slow motion. There's a bolt of silvery light. The tip why say silvery, though? I mean, it's a red spear. The tip seems like it's being drawn towards my heart. The blood will gush from the wound in just a second. I know this feeling. The sensation of iron piercing my body. The taste of blood that will well up in my throat. That feeling of the world around me fading. I experienced all of it earlier today. Like, literally. Why say earlier today? It was like 30 minutes ago. And now I'm going to have to experience it again? Really? I don't understand. Why do I have to be the one who goes through this? This is bullshit. Also, he never actually explained... Lancer never explained why he came after Shiro again. Because, like, I know he can track Shiro. That's not the problem. The problem is, so did he, like, return to the school afterward and then was like, oh, he got away and then he went after him? Or what, you know? This is bullshit. No, I can't die in a vein in a place like this. I was saved. If I was saved, I can't just die like this. I need to live to fulfill my obligations. I won't be able to do that if I'm dead. The spear is still going to impale me, though. The tip will tear through my flesh, break my ribs, bore into my heart. I'm mad. It shouldn't be so damn easy to kill people like this. I'm gonna die and it's bullshit. I'm gonna die twice in a single goddamn day. Everything is fucking bullshit. I'm gonna die and I didn't even have the opportunity to be afraid of this whole goddamn mess. I'm pretty sure everything that he does from this moment on does not reflect what he was just thinking here, by the way. Like, I don't think it's compatible to think the same person said these two things. And it's like, what? No way in hell I'm not going to let myself die senselessly to the likes of you. That is absolutely right. The right word for this moment. Nani? Like magic. A figure appears out of the bright light shining from behind me. I can't think. All I know is that the figure is a girl. I hear a high-pitched sound, and the moment the figure appears, it pushes aside the sword pressed to my heart and steps between me and the man without missing a beat.
7人目のサーバントだと。
He tries to regain his composure after his spear is pushed aside as the girl brandishes something in her hand. Sparks fly, hard metal clashes, and sparks fly again. The man stomps his foot after blocking the woman's attack. He must have realized he's at a disadvantage because he leaps out of the storehouse with bestial agility. She must intimidate him, but she quietly turns toward me. The wind is strong today. By the way, if a anime opening plays in a few seconds or a minute or two, I'm just not going to say anything just in case I'm going to have to mute it later. I'm just saying I'm not going to be saying anything. Just I've messed up a few times where I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. No. It gets copyrighted more than likely, but you never know. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting the anime opening here. The wind is strong today. The clouds slide away and the moon shines through for a brief instant. The silver moonlight shines into the shed, illuminating the girl who appears like a knight. I'm speechless, and it's not because I'm confused by all the things that just happened. The girl before me is so astonishingly beautiful that I'm at a loss for words. The girl's eyes, like precious jewels, stare at me without emotion. Her voice sounds so valiant. Master? I can only repeat her words back to her. I don't understand what she's saying, nor do I know who she is. All I know is that this slender, delicate-looking girl is similar to the man outside. She says nothing, continuing to look at me in silence. I don't know how to describe her. She's special, so special that I forget entirely about the man outside, even though he might attack at any moment. Time seems to have stopped. Even the fear of death I'd felt moments ago vanishes, and there is only the girl standing before me. It's the second time she speaks, and the moment I hear the word master and the name Saber echoes in my ears. Pain shoots through my left hand. It's hot, like being branded by an iron. I unconsciously press the back of my left hand. Taking that as a sign, the girl silently nods her beautiful head. What? Contract? For what? I'm still a mage in training, so I understand what those words mean. But the girl doesn't respond to my question. She simply looks away with the same grace she'd shown when she nodded. She turns towards the shed's ruined door. Outside, the man readies his spear. She moves faster than expected. The girl in knight's armor leaps out of the shed without hesitation. What? I forget about the pain I feel and I get up to follow her. She can't possibly go up against that guy. No matter how heavily armored she is, she's smaller than I am. Stop. The echoing clang drowns out my words. What? I can't believe what I'm seeing. My head really does go blank this time. Who the hell is she? The clash of the swords echoes around me. The moon slips behind the clouds and the yard grows dark once again. And within the darkness, sparks fly as steel strikes steel. Without saying a word, the spear-wielding man meets the girl, who leaps from the shed. She parries his spear, knocks away his other successive attacks, driving him back with each attack. I can't believe it. This girl, Saber, is somehow overpowering the man. The battle has begun. What happened between that man and I earlier doesn't even count as a battle. A battle, that's a fight between two people, each able to kill the other. No matter the difference in ability, it can still be called a battle as long as both are able to kill each other. In that sense, these two are fighting a battle. The man attacks her, swinging his spear so quickly I can't even see his strikes. Somehow, she parries his every attack perfectly with something as she closes in on him. The man backs up slightly, clicking his tongue hatefully. He holds his spear vertically to ward off her attacks on his side. For a moment, his spear glows. His attack almost looks like it caused an explosion. The man's spear sparks as if electrified every time whatever the weapon the girl is wielding strikes it. The man and I both could tell what it is. Its furious magical energy, so dense it can actually be seen. Her attacks are charged with incredible amounts of magical energy. The unbelievable amount of magical energy crackles along her opponent's weapon every time they make contact. The sheer force of her attacks must be staggering. If the man's spear strikes are precise like a sniper rifle, her blows must be like the overpowering blast of a shotgun. Each of the girl's attacks bathes the yard in flickering light. And yet, that's not what's overpowering the man. The man curses at the girl as he evades her unrelenting attacks. She doesn't respond other than to step up her attacks with her invisible weapon. The man retreats, having hardly so much as a chance to counterattack. Her weapon is invisible. Without being able to determine the weapon's range, it'd be reckless to go in for an attack. That's the trouble with an invisible weapon, but she's definitely got something in her hand. I can't make out anything of its shape or length. Maybe it's transparent to begin with. No matter how many times sparks fly from it, I never get a good look at the weapon's profile. Parrying her strikes must be taking a lot out of the man. His movements aren't as sharp as they had been. It's the first sound the girl makes. She attacks all the more furiously. It's a merciless, unyielding dance of blades. Flying sparks remind me of a blacksmith striking iron, and the spear-wielding man continues defending himself as he disapprovingly clicks his tongue. Honestly, I can't help but admire the man even though he tried to kill me. He's able to defend himself from an invisible weapon relying only on reading the girl's swings and footwork. That's all he can do. I mean, he can run away. He can even technically attack from distance, technically. When an opponent is so completely on defense, the only thing you can do to beat them down, you need to do is beat them down. The girl steps in closer. She smashes down, striking with all her might. Seeing his chance, the man disappears, or rather, he retreats back as if to disappear. The girl's swing cuts the air and smashes into the ground, kicking up dust. Her massive swing, which seemed to be a fatal blow against the cornered spearman, proved easy to dodge. That fool, what the hell is she thinking? Even I could tell what happened, even at this distance. Her careful, precise attacks earlier may have worn the man down, but the tremendous swing meant that the finishing blow wouldn't ever touch him. The relentless attacks must have put incredible strain on the man's body as he tried to defend himself, yet he suppressed that pain for a single moment to jump away. He knew that her last attack would determine the victor. The man jumps back several meters, then comes in to strike once again the moment his feet touch the ground. He jumps in a triangular pattern and leaps toward the girl as if revisiting his steps. The girl's sword is still embedded in the ground. It's a fatal opening. The red spear returns in less than a second. The girl twists her body around like a top, while her sword is still embedded in the ground. The whole thing happens in a matter of seconds. The man sees his mistake and tries to correct, as the girl uses this brief moment to use her whole body to attack. Both the man and the girl seem unsatisfied, though. Both struck, intending to kill. Both survived, so everything leading to this moment was in vain. The two open a bit of distance between themselves. They both just quietly stare at each other. The strain the battle inflicted on them seems to be too much.
どうしたランサー？止まっていては僧兵の名が泣こう。そちらが来ないのなら私が行くが。
わざわざ死にに来るか。それは構わんが、その前に一つだけ聞かせろ。貴様の宝具、それは剣か。
He phrases his question so bluntly. He glares as if trying to look through her.
さあどうかな。旋風かもしれぬし、双剣かもしれぬ。いや、もしや弓かもしれんぞ、ランサー。
抜かせセイバー。
Somehow this conversation seems to be amusing him. The man called Lancer briefly lowers his spear. It looks as if he's saying he doesn't want to fight anymore. The girl seems puzzled by Lancer's move, but I don't know what his stance means. I remember the fight at school a few hours ago. It's a killer move that was supposed to have ended the battle.
ついでにもう一つ聞くがな。お互い初見だしよ。ここらで分けって気はないか。悪い話じゃないだろ。そら、あそこでほうけているお前のマスターは使い物にならんし、俺のマスターとて姿を晒せねえ大ふぬけときた。ここはお互い万全の状態になるまで勝負を持ち越した方が好ましいんだが。
I want to throw in that his master is not a coward, and that if he showed up, though, he totally would win. So that is really crazy to think that if his master and him and Lancer fought together, I think they could beat anybody if they fought together. But I don't think they ever do fight together, so it's really funny.
断る。
Yeah, don't you think it's better to hold off until better conditions? I refuse. You will die here, Lancer.
そうかよ。たく、こっちはもともと様子見が目的だったんだぜ。サーバントが出たとあっちゃ、長居する気はなかったんだが。
The air wavers. Their surroundings appear to distort. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill creeps into the air. The same thing happened earlier. Magical energy rumbles as it forms a vortex at the tip of the spear.
Hog.
The girl readies her weapon and glares at her enemy. Don't need to speak up. She knows very well how dangerous the enemy is. She is the one confronting him.
じゃあな、その心臓をもらい受ける。
The beast kicks the ground. Lancer appears in front of the girl so quickly he may as well have teleported. He takes his spear and aims at her feet. Even to me, that seems like a poor choice. I know what's about to happen, but I can see any way an attack would be effective with the spear point at the ground. I can't see any way an attack would be effective with the spear pointed at the ground in front of her feet. Apparently thinking the same, the girl leaps over the spear toward Lancer, intent on striking him down. But at that moment, it goes up. His words alone radiate immense magical energy. The spear released from below angles toward the girl's heart. Her body hangs in the air. I gotta go check out the anime. I don't remember this happening, honestly. The blow sends her flying in a wide arc. She smashes heavily into the ground. She's bleeding. She had been unscathed until now, but her heart is pierced, and she is bleeding profusely. I mean, I know that generally Saber is just really bad in Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night, but it's just so weird seeing it again, just because it's like in Fate Grand Order, most of the servants are pretty competent. But for whatever reason, Saber in this is like weirdly overconfident. Like she's just like, oh, I guess she messed up. Haha, I'm going to win now. And then she just gets wrecked, basically. Like almost every single time. Like she'll never just like attack from a distance or something, even if it's to her advantage. It's like, no, I'm just going to walk toward you and swing my sword. Oh, it didn't work? Well, I guess I die now. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, there's so many times where she could end a fight, or she could like figure out a strategy in a fight in Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night, but like she nearly dies basically, just consistently. And it's like makes you wonder, like Saber is the strongest class, but not this Saber, and not in these wars really. I'm just as bewildered, but watching from afar may have given me a better perspective on how bizarre the attack was. Spear had been aimed at her feet, I'm sure of that, but then it just changed direction, moving and stretching impossibly to pierce the girl's heart. And yet the spear itself neither stretched nor changed direction. It seemed bizarrely as if the spear had been thrust into her chest from the beginning, almost naturally. It wasn't as simple as the spear changing its trajectory and piercing the heart. The spear didn't change course, it altered truth itself to make that happen. The moment he spoke those words and released the spear, the intent of piercing her heart had been realized. Yes, I've heard this explanation many times, and just every time I hear it, it's just like, how is this guy not the strongest servant of all time? That he can literally just say, I pierced your heart already, and it's just fact now. Yet for some reason, there are servants who are just like immune to fate changing to make them have their heart pierced somehow. Or like luck. No, I don't think luck even can prevent it. It's really weird. They have to like really bend reality in the story to get around this ability. It's really weird. Essentially, his attack reversed cause and effect. The result of the attack piercing the victim's heart is predetermined. So the spear's trajectory is merely an afterthought to established facts. It's a demonic splinter that breaks through old defenses. Why call it demonic? The moment it determines the target, the spear pierces the heart every time it's used, without exception. I mean, why would Shiro even know this, by the way? He doesn't even know what a noble phantasm is at this point. How can anyone defend against such a completely insane attack? No matter what effort the target makes to evade, the spear will always pierce their heart, which makes it fatal, and a cursed spear that always pierces the opponent when used. However, the girl evades by a hair's breadth, but she still dodged it. The spear did penetrate her, but it didn't hit anything vital, even though you just said it literally hit her heart. Her actions in evading the spear seemed even more impossible than the spear itself. The moment the spear was thrust, the girl turned and reversed direction with an incredible effort of will and strength, as if she knew what was going to happen. She was either, maybe it is just high luck skill. She was either incredibly lucky or had just enough protection to dampen the spear's curse. Whatever it is, the girl manages to avoid the fatal blow and so survives Lancer's ultimate attack. The girl tries to get her labored breathing under control. Although she had been losing a lot of it, blood stopped seeping from her wound, and even the wound itself is closing up. So this is what a truly extraordinary person can do. I knew she wasn't normal, but she is more than outstanding. In terms of her skills in the fight against Lancer, in terms of the incredible amount of magical energy used for every attack, her body recovering on its own, she is obviously superior to Lancer. Really? Yeah, fair enough. I can see that. Technically, she has shown that she is at least a match for his speed, but maybe even a little faster. Maybe? And she definitely is stronger. I don't know how precise she is, though. And to be fair, no. It should be acknowledged, though, that the reason why Lancer is struggling is because her sword is invisible. If her sword wasn't invisible, then I think they're, like, implied to be evenly matched, technically. But that's only up until now. She may be healing even now, but her wounds are deep. If Lancer attacks now, she won't be able to defend herself. If you say so. And yet, even though he's at an overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. He audibly grinds his teeth, and he glares at the girl. I guess it's just that he's so prideful and arrogant about his Gaybolg ability that he's like, well, I'm not going to just use it again. Even though using it again wouldn't even use that much magic, you know? His voice seems to rumble up from the ground itself. Oh. Yeah, like he reveals his identity. Lancer's expression darkens. His hostility dissipates and he clicks his tongue in annoyance.
こいつを出すからには必殺でなけりゃやばいってのにな。まったく有名すぎるのも考えものだ。
Maybe he can't use it multiple times on the same target, maybe. I mean, it's not like it has a weakness. But yeah, maybe its weakness is just that it's less effective the more he does it. The oppressive mood lightens. Lancer no longer seems to have any intent of attacking the wounded girl. He turns his back as he walks to the corner of the yard.
己の正体を知られた以上、どちらかが消えるまでやり合うのがサーバントのセオリーだが、あいにくうちの雇い主は臆病者でな。槍が交わされたのなら帰ってこいなんて抜かしやがる。
Yeah, I don't know what his strategy is, his master strategy is. Because, like, at this point, he really should have just tried to finish her off.
逃げるのか
Well, then
ラン
again,
サー
no, I guess Rin is nearby. So even if he did win, Rin would finish him off. Are you running away, Lancer?
ああ、追ってくるのなら構わんぞセイバー。ただしその時は決死の覚悟を抱いてこい。
He lightly bounces off the ground. It's a wonder how agile he can still be. But Lancer jumps effortlessly over the fence and disappears before anyone can stop him.
待てランサー
The injured young girl turns and starts running in pursuit. You've got to be kidding me. Across the yard as fast as I can. If I don't stop her, she'll go after him and maybe get herself killed. It turns out I don't need to chase after her. She tries to jump over the wall, but the moment she crouches to jump, she doubles over and grabs her chest. I hurry over to check on her. Well, I'd intended to just approach and call out to her, but that went right out the window the moment I got near her. She is completely unbelievable. The shining silver armor she wears looks extremely heavy. The clothes she's wearing, dated as it is a bright, vivid blue. I've never seen anything like it. No, her clothes are not what really enthralls me. She is absolutely beautiful. Her golden hair, illuminated by the moonlight, is extremely fine as spun gold. Her face is graceful with a trace of innocence, and her smooth white skin all but glows in the moonlight. She's so hot. I really love my American girlfriend now. I'm speechless. Her beauty completely takes my breath away. How'd this happen? Seeing a girl wounded in a fight made me absolutely furious. As I stand there gawking, the girl remains silent, her hand clamped over her chest. I manage to quit staring pretty quickly. She lifts her head and lets her hand fall from her chest, her pain seeming to have eased. She looks directly at me. I don't know quite how to respond to that gaze, but then I notice something. Your wound's gone? The spear missed her heart, but it did pierce her chest, yet there's no outward sign of a wound. I've heard there's a kind of healing magecraft she didn't seem to use anything like that. That must mean she can heal herself no matter how wounded she is. My mind switches gears. I shouldn't be gawking at her. This girl's unbelievable. I absolutely should not let my guard down around her until I know who she is and what's going on. Who the hell are you? I take half a step back as I ask the question. What do you mean?
何者も何もセーバーのサーバントです
I mean, you didn't tell him your name.
あなたが私を呼び出したのですから確認をするまでもないでしょう
Well, he literally asked who you are. Saber, servant. Yes.
ですから私のことはセーバーと
She says it so casually. There's a touch of contempt in her tone, but it remains mostly gentle, and hearing her voice makes my head go blank. What? Why the hell am I getting agitated? I see. That's a weird name. I cover my burned face with a hand and respond stupidly. Burning face was my hand. But I honestly don't know what else to say. Besides, how else would she respond when I just ask her what the hell she is? And it'd be rude for me to not respond. I'm Shiro. My name is Shiro Emiya, and I live here. There's something wrong with me. I'm saying the dumbest things. But well, she did give me her name. It's only polite that I give mine. I mean, yeah. But yeah, what do you mean it's dumb? No, that makes perfect sense. I know I'm confused, but it's still important to remain rational no matter who I'm dealing with. The girl, Saber, just keeps watching me in my confusion. She moves not an inch. Forget all that. That's not what I was asking. It's that.
分かっていますあなたは正規のマスターではないのですね
Eh?
しかしそれでもあなたは私のマスターです契約を交わした以上あなたを裏切りはしないそのように警戒する必要はありません
Crap. I hear her, but I couldn't be more lost. The only thing standing out to me is that she keeps referring to me as Master. You've got it wrong. My name's not
そ
Master.
れでは素人ええ私としてはこの発音の方が好ましい
The moment she said my name, I thought my face might actually burst into flames. Isn't it a bit more normal to call someone by their last name when you first meet? Wait, why would you choose to address me that? That's actually kind of funny, though, that can, like, that type of wording could actually also reveal where, what part of the world you're from. So if you actually were like, I don't know if this person is from Japan or from Africa or from Sweden, like, their manners would actually reflect that a little bit. That said, I mean, her outfit, I mean, usually when you see enough other servants in Fate, it's pretty obvious from what they wear where they are from in the world. Usually. There are some exceptions, but usually. Wait, why would you choose to address me that? Ouch, a strange sensation tingles through my left hand. It's hot. Oh my gosh, the back of my hand is burning. A strange pattern appears on the back of my hand, like a tattoo. What?
それは霊樹と呼ばれるものです、シロ。私たちサーバントを律する3つの命令権であり、マスターとしての命でもある。むやみな使用は避けるように。
I don't know why they say that they are a master's very life. They always over-exaggerate how important they are. Like, they are a big deal. But saying that they're your very life is like... They act like you should only do it if you're about to die. But then it's also weird because it's like, well, I have 3. So am I supposed to just nearly die multiple times, you know? And then on top of that, you're not supposed to use the 3rd one, technically. And also, if you use the 3rd one, you stop being a master also, which is also confusing. But, like, that's not even true. But that's how it's been said before, that you stop being a master. But, like, they're not truly necessary in order to keep being a master and servant. But that's how they say it. On you? Her tone is cold now. Seems she's not focused on me, but somewhere else. Something else. Wait, are you asking me? Sorry, but I don't know how to use complicated magecraft like that. And you're already healed anyway. Saber frowns. I feel like I've said something that disappoints her.
ではこのままで臨みます。自動修復は外面を覆っただけですが、あと一度の戦闘ならば支障はないでしょう。
One more battle? What do you mean?
外の敵は2人。この程度の重圧なら数秒で倒し得る相手です。
It's also stupid that she says this, because this, like, would imply that she doesn't think that whoever she would face would have, like, really special abilities that would be difficult to deal with. And I don't know why she thinks that. Like, she's like, oh, I'm totally gonna just have a normal, straightforward battle, right? And it's like, what if they can, like, I don't know, jump on a cloud and then shoot stars at you or some bullshit, you know? Like, I don't know, they're freaking magical beings. Like, anything could happen, you know? Just like Lancer, she makes it look easy. And now I'm just alone in the yard. There's enemies outside. I realize what she means as soon as I say it. As soon as I say it. Wait, are you going to keep fighting? Yeah, because there's enemies nearby. I move without thinking. I run as fast as I can toward the gate. It's Archer and Ren. I reach the gate, unlock it with trembling fingers, and jump out. Saber, are you here? I strain to see it in the darkness. Clouds have completely obscured the moon, leaving it pitch dark now of all times. But I hear something nearby. There! I run to an empty pathway. It happens all in an instant. I see a familiar man in red and Saber fighting. Saber rushes him, and breaks through his guard in a single sweep. She easily cuts out the man in red. Saber raises her arm too, but before she's able to take his head, incredibly powerful magecraft causes him to vanish. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes right at the person standing behind the man in red, and effortlessly negates the potent magecraft they'd unleashed. What? I knew she was strong, but this is just unreal. That was a sort of intervention magecraft way beyond anything I'm capable of. My old man might have been able to cast something with a bit of weight to it, but I'm not sure even a first-rate mage could just cast something so powerful at the drop of a hat like that. Well, I mean, technically that's her ability, but whatever. Even so, Saber nullifies the magecraft as if it were nothing. Which is actually mostly normal when a servant fights a mage. The enemy must be a mage, which means this match's outcome is decided. The mage's attack doesn't work on Saber, and Saber drives at them mercilessly. The mage falls backwards with a thud. The enemy miraculously dodges Saber's attack, but they can't move anymore. Saber corners the enemy and levels her invisible sword at them. My mind freezes. Maybe it's just a momentary glimmer of moonlight, but I see then that Saber is attacking a human. I can't tell who it is specifically, but the image of Saber killing someone, their blood staining her hands, suddenly fills my mind. Saber moves in. She's going to slit open their throat with that invisible sword. Saber, stop! I scream as loud as I can. Her blade stops cold. It's probably best for my sanity that I can't see her sword. But the tip of that invisible sword isn't wet with her opponent's blood just yet. Stop, I beg you, Saber. I glare at her as I speak. If I'm going to stop her, I need to prepare myself to give everything I've got to do so. I guess he just thinks that he actually has to fight her.
なぜ止めるのです、シロ。彼女はアーチャーのマスターです。ここで仕留めておかなければ。
It's so weird. I don't know why Rin told Archer to go away. I guess it's just because she didn't want to fight, but she didn't even say anything in this little exchange. So she was about to die in like 5 seconds because she was like, "Hey Archer, stop fighting." No, Saber has absolutely no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I told her to, but she still holds her sword at the ready. I'm telling you to wait. You keep calling me master, but I still don't understand what's going on. If you're going to address me that way, then wouldn't it be right to explain yourself first? Saber doesn't answer. She just stands there staring at me. We're going about this wrong, Saber. I don't even know who you are, but I'll listen if you tell me, so please don't do this. Saber is silent. She still holds her sword to her opponent and stares at me, her lips downturned in dissatisfaction.
そんなこととはどのようなことか。あなたはむやみに人を傷つけるな。などという理想論を挙げるのですか。
Don't needlessly harm another? Well, yeah, it's better to avoid conflict as much as possible. But I'm not soft-hearted as to feel sorry for someone who's attacking me. I mean, you literally did do that.
敵であれ命を絶つなと言いたいのでしょ。そのような言葉には従いません。敵は倒すものです。それでもやめろというのであれば、礼示をもって私を律しなさい。
I'm not soft-hearted enough to feel sympathy toward my enemy. Just ignore 5 minutes ago when I literally was saying that I was rooting for Lancer to win. Just forget that part. Huh? I'm talking about you. A girl shouldn't go swinging swords around, especially if she's already hurt. Yeah, because he's sexist. Oh wait, I don't even know if that's a sword to begin with. Anyway, you shouldn't be doing this. In that moment, Saber's mouth falls open in stunned silence. I don't know how much time passes with her just standing there like that.
で、いつになったら剣を下げてくれるのかしらね、セイバーさんは。
The person who'd fallen to the ground speaks up out of nowhere. Saber instinctively grips her sword.
諦めなさい。敵を前にして下げる剣はありません。
あなたのマスターは下げろって言ってるのに。へえ、セイバーともあろうサーバントが主に逆らうって言うんだ。
Saber grits her teeth. But she lowers her sword, loosening her grip a bit. She must have pulled her sword away or something, because she seems suddenly much less hostile.
さ、なら立ってもいいのよね、私。
Whoever it was that's been on the ground finally stands. They act brazen as they pat the dirt from their bottom. Wait a minute. That's... You're Tosaka.
ええ。こんばんは、エミヤ君。
And now we're back to the beginning. Rin Tosaka replies with the biggest smile on her face. Yeah, this is unbelievable. I don't know what to think anymore. The way she greets me so casually makes me question whether everything that happened was even real. Well, so you were the one who cast that magecraft earlier, which makes you...
魔術師ってことでしょ。ま、お互い似たようなもんだし、隠す必要もないわよね。
Guh. Hearing her be so blunt about it makes me seem like the idiot here.
いいから話は中でしましょう。どうせ何も分かってないんでしょ、エミヤ君は。
As she says that, she walks toward the entrance to my house. Wait, Tosaka, what the hell are you thinking? At that moment, when Tosaka turns around, her smile has changed into something completely different.
バカね、いろいろ考えてるわよ。だから話をしようって言ってるんじゃない。エミヤくん、突然の事態に驚くのもいいけど、素直に認めないと命取りって時もあるのよ。ちなみに今がその時だと分かって。
I don't know what she's talking about, by the way. She glares at me and I can see actual animosity in her eyes.
分かればよろしい。それじゃあ行こっか。エミヤくんのお家にね。
Tosaka walks through the gate. She seems really pissed. Well, I don't blame her. Just a moment ago, she had a sword pointed at her. She was about to die. But still, maybe it's my imagination, but I think the Tosaka at school and the one I see right now are completely different people. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop in a second. I thought that they were gonna do the opening song here, but maybe they do it a little later, I guess. I don't know. And this is just weird as hell. Rin Tosaka, the most popular girl in school, the girl I admire, is walking in front of me, while a blonde girl named Saber, who calls herself a servant, is silently following behind me. The hallway feels like it's in a different dimension. But I can't stay a coward forever. I may still be in training, but I'm still a mage. Tosaka, who is apparently a fellow mage, is as bold as brass, so I have to hold my ground too, or else I'll look stupid. Though I can't really think of anything all that significant here. Like Saber still following me. She keeps calling me master, and we've formed some sort of contract, which probably makes her a kind of familiar. I've heard of familiar as an assistant mages use. Most mages transfer a part of their own body into something else, then use it as their double. But typically they're small animals. Things like cats and dogs are just easier to control. Some mages do use humans, but to do that they need an incredible amount of magical energy to constantly feed into the human to control them. Doing that would require a mage to use over half of their own magical energy just to sustain the familiar, though it's not exactly efficient. Familiars are supposed to be tools to help mages, which is why they usually use small animals who can be controlled with minimal effort and so aren't any burden. At least that's what I was taught. No, nothing. Saber obviously looks human, and she is clearly superior to her master, and that is me. I don't have enough magical energy to restrain someone, let alone the magic circuits to control familiars in the first place. Which means Saber is nothing like a familiar. She calls herself a servant. I don't know what she is, but that man named Lancer and the man in red Tosaka has in tow are probably all the same, which means Tosaka can also be called a master. I've already seen enough of her magecraft skill. I'm less than a fledgling, but based on what I've seen, Tosaka is probably worth 3 mages, though there's really not much sense comparing any mage to someone like me who can only do strengthening. But the funny thing is that Tosaka probably can do strengthening, but at the end of the day, she's only powerful if she can prep. She's good at prep. She's entirely a prep-based mage, which means she's not that strong in my opinion. Like, I mean, you could act like it's like, yeah, like, I mean, it literally is. Imagine bullets. She has bullets, and her finger is the gun, so she's got the gun, whatever. But like, she's got bullets, and the bullets are the prep. So as long as she has bullets, she can fight. But on the flip side, if she runs out of bullets, she's screwed. She really realistically can't really make new bullets immediately. So, and once she's out of bullets, she's screwed. She just can't fight at all, really. I mean, again, she can do strengthening a little, I believe, and defend herself a little, but like it's like nothing. And also, I think Shiro might be better at using strengthening or something. What's clear is that Rin Tosaka is an exceptional mage. In spiritually strong lands, there are mage family lines which oversee... you already said this, yeah. The Emi family came during Kiritsugu's generation. Our family is essentially outsiders. That's why I didn't know Tosaka came from a family of mages. I don't think Tosaka knew I came from one either. There are several mages in the town. I don't know. Several mages. I mean, there's only 2 more, maybe. Yeah, 2. Well, honestly, 1. But whatever. If that Lancer guy is another mage's familiar too, that means I've gotten myself in the middle of some sort of fight between mages.
結構広いのね。和風っていうのも新鮮だな。あ、 エミヤ君、そこが今？
I should really just stop thinking for now. Now's the time to pay attention to what Tosaka has to say. Honestly, it's funny. Based on everything that he just figured out, there's only like 2 pieces of information he really needs, which is all the information about the Holy Grail War, and which includes why he was chosen as a master. Actually, maybe that's all he needs. I mean, he's figured out quite a lot of other information already. Like, the servants are familiars at the end of the day. I turn on the lights. It's already past 1 in the morning. Yep, it is. Yeah, there was a fight here. That's not my fault. The Lancer guy attacked me. I really didn't have time to worry about the windows.
Oh, そういうこと。じゃあ、セイバーを呼び出すまで一人であいつとやり合ってたの？
I'd say I was more of a punching bag than an opponent, really.
変な見え張らないんだ。そっかそっか。ほんと見た目通りなんだ、エミヤ君って。
Okay, well, this is where I'm stopping. I don't know how much time is left. I mean, I kind of want to keep... Let's go another 5 or 6 minutes. Maybe this is going to be a short conversation. But if she starts talking about the Holy Grail War, which I don't think she will, because I know for sure that we go to the church to talk about the Holy Grail War. So I don't know what she's going to say between here and then. And I don't know if we go to the church in this same night, which if we do, then it's a pretty long night. But I thought that might be the case, that it'd be that long. I don't know what's so amusing to her, but Tosaka walks over to the broken window. Tosaka picks up a broken piece of glass. She stares at it for a second. She cuts her fingertip and lets a single drop of blood fall into the window. What kind of magecraft is that? Shattered window begins to reassemble itself, returning to its original undamaged state in mere seconds. Tosaka, what did you just do?
ちょっとしたデモンストレーションよ。助けてもらったお礼にはならないけど、一応筋は通しておかないとね。もう、私がやらなくともそっちで直したんだろうけど、こんなの魔力の無駄遣いでしょ？本当なら窓ガラスなんて取り替えれば済むけど、こんな寒い中で話すのもなんだし。
She says all this like it's a normal thing. Her skills are just beyond my comprehension. That's amazing, Tosaka. I can't do anything like that, so I appreciate you fixing it. It's basic, though. Yeah.
できないってそんなことないでしょ?
She thought like maybe he's at least a normal mage. It's like, nah. He's like pathetically bad. Like he doesn't know even basic spells. He knows strengthening, and that's it. But to be fair, I mean, she's basically a prep girl compared to him.
ガラスの扱いなんて初歩の初歩だもの。たった数分前に割れたガラスの修復なんてどこの学派でも入門試験みたいなものでしょ?
Well, he's not in mage school, is he? This is the Fate route. I even have it in the title. Maybe I should put the Saber route, maybe? Is it now? I only know what my old man taught me, so I don't really know what you'd consider the basics.
Huh?
Tosaka stops abruptly. Crap, sounds like I said something I shouldn't have.
ちょっと待って。じゃあ何？エミヤ君は自分の工房の管理もできない半人前ってこと?
Yeah, he's 15 years old, so of course not. I don't have a workshop. Well, actually, I have the shed I use for training, but I think calling that a workshop would just make Tosaka angrier.
まさかとは思うけど確認しとく。もしかしてあなた、5大要素の扱いとかパスの作り方も知らない?
Nope. I just nodded. Whoa, that's terrifying. Beautiful as she is, she gets intense when she goes quiet.
何? じゃああなた素人?
Well, why did she think otherwise? Not exactly, no. I can at least do some strengthening magecraft.
強化ってまたなんとも半端なのを使うのね。 で、それ以外はからっきしってわけ？
I mean, that is basically a complete amateur. Tosaka just stares at me. Honestly, probably not. Her stare is so intense, I can't help but be vague in my answers.
はあ、なんだってこんなやつにセイバーが呼び出されるのよ。まったく。
She sighs, disappointed. I don't care much for that. It's not like I've been playing around here. Sure, I'm not a full-fledged mage, but that's not the issue here.
まあいいわ。もう決まったことに不平をこぼしても始まらない。そんなことより今は借りを返さないと。
Tosaka takes a breath.
それじゃあ話を始めるけど、エミヤくん、自分がどんな立場にあるのか分かってないでしょ。
I nod.
やっぱり。まあ一目で分かったけど、一応確認しとかないとね。知ってる相手に説明するなんて心の贅肉だし。
That was a really weird way to put that, but I feel like if I get smart with her, she'll smack me.
率直に言うと、エミヤくんはマスターに選ばれたの。どちらかの手に精魂があるでしょ。手の甲とか腕とか、個人差はあるけど、3つの霊樹が刻まれているはず。それがマスターとしての証よ。
Back of my hand. Oh, you mean this?
そう。それはサーバントを律する呪文でもあるから大切にね。霊樹って言うんだけど、それがある限りはサーバントを従えていられるわ。
What do you mean, as long as I have them?
霊樹は絶対命令権なの。サーバントには自由意志があるって気づいていると思うけど、それをねじ曲げて絶対に言いつけを守らせる呪文がその刻印。発動に呪文は必要なくて、あなたが霊樹を使用するって思えば発動するから。ただし1回使うたびに1つずつ減っていくから、使うのなら2回だけにとどめなさい。で、その霊樹がなくなったらエミヤ君は殺されるだろうから、せいぜい注意して。
That's a really weird way to put it, but that is like kind of how a lot of the Fate franchise explains this. But yeah, it's so weird to explain it this way, that you'll die after using the third one. It's like, say the servant doesn't have to kill the master once they have no command spells. It's really weird. Oh, I'm gonna die?
そうよ。マスターが他のマスターを倒すのが聖杯戦争の基本だから。そうして他の6人を倒したマスターには望みを叶える聖杯が与えられるの。
What? Hold on a second. I don't understand what the hell Tosaka's saying. Master is defeating masters, and they're granted the Holy Grail? And is the Holy Grail the Holy Grail?
まだわからない。要するにね、あなたはあるゲームに巻き込まれたのよ。聖杯戦争っていう7人のマスターの生存競争。他のマスターを一人残らず倒すまで終わらない魔術師同士の殺し合いに。
Tosaka talks about this like it's the most normal thing in the world. Everything she says swirls around in my head. I was chosen as a master. Tosaka claims to be a master. Familiars called servants. And Holy Grail War, a battle to the death between 7 mages. Okay, wait, what the hell are you talking about?
気持ちはわかるけど、私は事実を口にするだけよ。それにあなただって心の底では理解してるんじゃない？一度ならず二度までもサーバントに殺されかけて、自分はもう逃げられない立場なんだって。
That was your fault, technically. True, that Lancer guy did nearly kill me.
あ、違うわね。殺されかけたんじゃなくて殺されたんだっけ。よく生き返ったわね、エミヤくん。
Hiding her involvement. Tosaka's comment is the final nail in the coffin. She's absolutely right. That guy killed me. I died. There was no chance for me to talk him out of it, nor convince him otherwise, and I was only there to die. That's why me backing out of this incomprehensible death match doesn't mean that others will do the same.
納得した？ならもう少しだけ話をしてあげる。聖杯戦争というのが何であるか私もよくは知らない。
That's really crazy that she doesn't know why it exists. But I guess that's, well, I feel like she should have found this information in the in her family's documents. Everything about the reaching the root and all that. But yeah, it's pretty sad that she doesn't even know that. Sheesh.
ただ何十年に一度7人のマスターが選ばれ、マスターにはそれぞれサーバントが与えられるってことだけは確かよ。
That's also really deceptive. This has always been like my biggest issue with the series, when they're like every few decades, but the every few decades is in reality. The first time was in like 1800. The second time was like, I think like 1870 maybe, or 60, I think. And then the third time was it during World War II or right before World War II? It's one of the two. So like 1940, 1937, somewhere around there. And then after that was 1995. So that's like a difference of 70 years. I guess it's close to 70 years. But it's funny because the first two Holy Grail Wars didn't mean anything. They're complete garbage. No, almost no information's known about them, and the little that you do know is that they're just failed experiments, basically. So the third one's the first real one, and even that one was like, they were still messing up a little bit. So the real first one is actually the fourth one, and now we're in the fifth one. And in this fifth one is like everything's screwed up, because like the aftermath of the fourth one made it so that most of the best mages in 1995 died. So then, you know, it's only been 10 years instead, and so that makes it so that there aren't enough good mages to actually want to be in the Grail War, and well, yeah, there's not enough that are interested in coming back so soon, at the very least. But it's also weird because, like, you know, obviously, it being 10 years since the last Grail War is also not normal. That's I believe it's because the magic energy from the fourth Holy Grail War mostly just returned to the land, I think. So, like, the Holy Grail didn't have to have more time to gather energy up all over again, I think.
私もマスターに選ばれた一人。だからサーバントと契約したし、あなただってセーバーと契約した。サーバントは聖杯戦争を勝ち残るために聖杯が与えた使い魔と考えなさい。
Well, she's going pretty fast through this, at least.
で、マスターである私たちは自分のサーバントと協力して他のマスターを始末していくわけね。
Osaka explains things matter-of-factly, but it feels totally unreal to me. But one thing she mentioned raises a question. Wait, you say Saber is a familiar, but I don't think she is. Familiars are usually cats and birds. Sure, there are some folks who use ghosts, but Saber has a physical body. Plus, she doesn't look like a familiar to me. I glanced over at Saber. She's been quiet the whole time. Looks completely human to me. I don't know who she is, but she looks to be a girl about the same age as me.
使い魔ね。まあサーバントはその分類ではあるけど、位置づけは段違いよ。何しろそこにいる彼女はね、使い魔としては最強とされるゴーストライナーなんだから。
So it's funny that they use the word ghost liner, because I don't know why they say that. I don't know why they have to say ghost liner. They just need to say heroic spirit, or just a spirit. Well, I mean, yeah, heroic spirit is a good word for it, honestly. Ghost liner is like, they're a strong ghost, basically, a ghost that can take on a physical form, I think is all what a ghost liner is, I think. But like, you could just call them a heroic spirit, and it's like, okay, this makes a lot more sense comparatively. Also, it's funny though, because they're like, oh, it's you know, one of the strongest familiars, and yet you will hear so many mages criticize servants, heroic servants. They're like, oh, they're just a familiar. They're nothing. And it's like, it's so weird, because it's like, but they're a really strong servant. Isn't that a big deal? They're a really strong familiar. But they're like, yeah, of the ones I've seen, give opinions about the heroic spirits. They really dismiss it as if it's like fancy parlor trick or something. It's so stupid. I guess that you could just say that that's the clock tower for you. They're pretty arrogant. A ghostliner. So does that mean she really is a ghost? Spirit of a human, someone who died long ago. The residual thoughts of a person of exceptional ability who remains in this world even after death. But that doesn't make sense. Ghosts don't possess a physical body. Ghosts can only hurt other ghosts. So how could I, who possess a body, be killed by a serpent, a spirit?
幽霊。似たようなものだけど、そんなもんと一緒にしたらセイバーに殺されるわよ。
Well, it's because you're literally asking questions, man.
サーバントは受肉した過去の英雄。精霊に近い人間以上の存在なんだから。
Huh? Incarnated heroes of the past.
そうよ。過去だろうが現代だろうが、とにかく死亡した伝説上の英雄をこう引っ張ってきてね、実体化させる。まあ呼び出すまでがマスターの役割で、後の実体化は聖杯がしてくれるんだけどね。魂を形にするなんてのは一介の魔術師には不可能だもの。ここは強力なアーティファクトの力におんぶしてもらうってわけ。
Sounds powerful. Like you shouldn't downplay how powerful these spirits are. And yet, mages still do it. Wait a minute. Are you saying that a hero from the past is what? I look at Saber. She's a hero of the past too? Well, sure, nobody in the modern era would dress like her, but still. That's impossible. I've never heard of magecraft like that.
当然よ。これは魔術じゃないもの。あくまで聖杯による現象と考えなさい。そうでなければ、魂を再現して固定化するなんてできるはずがない。
I know for a fact that this ends up being disproven later, but we won't go into it. It's not important. A recreation of a soul. Does that mean these servants are different than phantoms?
違うわ。人間であれ動物であれ機械であれ、偉大な功績を残すと輪廻の輪から外されて、一段階上に昇華するって話聞いたことない？
They are removed from the cycle of reincarnation. So I actually wasn't aware that the Fate universe believed in reincarnation. But wait, now I'm even more confused. Because there are Saber faces, which are many heroic spirits who have the same face as Saber, which I always did kind of interpret that as reincarnation. But I just figured, it was a reincarnation, not necessarily a real reincarnation, just like, maybe some of them have reincarnation, but it's not like everybody reincarnates. But now that I think about it, Fate Grand Order has a lot of characters who must have reincarnated in order to explain why they look like other characters. I just figured, oh yeah, they're just genetically the same as that person from the future. And it's like, yeah, but they still shouldn't look so similar, But yeah, that's really interesting. If you're powerful enough, you're removed from the cycle of reincarnation. And then you become like, a powerful spirit or something, which is a phantom, I guess. Yeah, heroic spirits. And so it's like, why even say Ghostliner and heroic spirit? Remember at this point, by the way, I have now read Witch on the Holy Night and Tsukihime, and neither have mentioned Ghostliner or heroic spirit. I don't think they even went into phantoms, or they didn't even really explain familiars either, even though there are familiars in those stories. I don't think they actually really explained it, other than this person just controls it. That's it. That's all that matters.
要するに崇め立て祀られて疑似的な神様になった者たちなんでしょうね。
Really, a pseudo god? I don't think that's correct at all. But I guess if you want to say like a heroic spirit is somebody who was worshipped in some way or another, I guess you're technically right. They were. It's like they were highly viewed as role models. But like the fact that that's enough to make you a higher form of a spirit of a human after death. It seems pretty weird.
降霊術とか口寄せとか、そういう一般的な霊を扱う魔術は彼らの力の一部を借り受けて奇跡を起こすでしょ。けどこのサーバントっていうのは英霊本体を直接連れてきて使い魔にする。だから基本的には霊体としてそばにいるけど、必要とあれば実体化させて戦わせられるってわけ。
So they can switch between spirit form and corporeal. I don't see your servant right now, so does that mean he's in spirit form right now?
いえ、あいつはうちの召喚人で傷を癒している最中よ。
I didn't even know he got hurt.
さっきセイバーにやられたでしょ。
No, I don't remember that actually.
あれだってあと少し強制撤去が遅かったら一撃で消滅してたわ。
Okay, I am vaguely remembering this a little bit from when we were seeing her side of the story earlier, but it still doesn't explain why you would say, "Oh no, my servant is about to die. I know. I will send it away." Oh yeah, that's right. She used one of her. I think she has already used two of her command spells, and that's why it was so silly. Because she's like, she's just bumbling around and incompetent. But yeah, she already used two of her command spells, and she used one to literally send Archer away. That's why he didn't come back, and then that's why it's so stupid. Because it's like, oh no, my servant's gonna die. Better send him away. And it's like, okay, now you're gonna die, idiot. Like what? Like yeah, your servant was probably gonna die, I guess technically, but like maybe he was gonna pull through. You never know. Like maybe he was gonna dodge at the last second, and you were like, no, run away. Like what?
いい？サーバントを倒せるのは同じ霊体であるサーバントだけ。そりゃ相手が実体化していればこっちの攻撃も当たるから、うまくすれば倒せるかもしれない。けどサーバントはみんな怪物じみてるでしょ。だから怪物の相手は怪物に任せて、マスターは後方支援をするっていうのがセオリーね。
Then why did you send your servant away? Torasaka's explanation ticks me off. I don't know what the other servants are like, but calling servants monsters doesn't feel like a fair description of Saber. I mean, like, they're literally heroes from the past. So yeah, this is like calling the founder of your country a monster, because you summon them to fight on your behalf, and they're like, well, they're really strong, so they're like monsters. Like, what are you talking about?
とにかくマスターになった人間は召喚したサーバントを使って他のマスターを倒さなければならない。そのあたりは理解できた？
In theory, yeah, but I'm still not convinced. First of all, what kind of sick mind thought to do this in the first place? Actually, that is funny that he says this, considering the fact that, I mean, mages are generally, like, lacking emotion and compassion and blah blah blah.
それは私が知るべきことでもないし、答えてあげることでもない。そのあたりはいずれちゃんと聖杯戦争を監督しているやつに聞きなさい。
But I do want to mention that it's really crazy and stupid that not only is she not aware that her ancestors were one of the people who created the Holy Grail War, but she doesn't even realize the other two families who she's supposed to be working with in the Holy Grail War. Like, her father never mentioned, hey, here's these families that we all technically work together, and this is what's like motivating my actions in my life. Like, yeah, she was still a little girl, but yet he would still teach her magic. So if he's willing to teach her magic, you would think that he would also be willing to share some really basic alliance information, you know?
私が教えてあげられるのはね、あなたはもう戦うしかなくて、サーバントは強力な使い魔だからうまく使えってことだけよ。
As Tosaka says that, she turns to Saber.
さて、エミヤ君から話を聞いた限りじゃ、あなたは不完全な状態みたいね、セイバー。マスター。
ええ、あなたの言う通り、私は万全ではありません。シローには私を実体化させる魔力がないため、霊体に戻ることも、魔力の回復も難しいでしょう。
That's weird. So that's the explanation. Because I always in the anime they always did mention that she can't go to spirit form, but I was always confused by that because I'm like, that seems like the opposite. Like, oh, you're so weak that she should struggle to become, to get into her physical form. But instead it's the opposite, that she's stuck in her physical form and can't go into her spiritual form. Like, yeah, that just doesn't make sense.
驚いたわ。そこまでひどかったこともだけど、あなたが正直に話してくれるなんて思わなかった。どうやって弱みを聞き出そうかなって程度だったのに。
Your weakness? I mean, if that wasn't the case, I guess it was a rush summoning, but I don't know. This type of thing never really comes up again.
敵に弱点を見抜かれるのは不本意ですが、あなたの目は欺けそうにない。こちらの手札を隠しても意味はないでしょう。それならばあなたに知ってもらうことで、シローにより深く現状を理解してもらった方がいい。
正解。風格も十分と。もうますます惜しい。私がセイバーのマスターだったらこんな戦い勝ったも同然だったのに。
People claim that Rin, because she has like the best magic circuits, she's right in this instance. But she's so stupid that I just don't believe it. like she does have a sort of tactical mind, but it is still worth noting that she still showed up here and got her servant basically killed and used 2 command spells and was about to be killed herself, and she just got lucky that she didn't die. Like, it's not like Archer is a crazy weak servant. She didn't even have him use his noble phantasm or anything. Like she just didn't defend herself, which implies that in Fate Zero she would have died to just like anybody, really. Fate Zero is full of people who would just without hesitation just kill her if, like, hey, you appeared next to your servant. Okay, well, we killed your servant and now we're gonna kill you. Like, what? Like, everybody in Fate Zero would have done that. Tosaka, are you saying I'm not fit to be her master?
当然でしょ、ヘッポコ。
Sham? Whoa, anyone with a heart might have softened that blow a bit.
何？まだなんか質問があるの？
But she doesn't realize how hurtful her words are. My image of her as a perfect honor student at school slowly crumbles. Issei sure was right about her. She's fiendishly relentless.
さて、話がまとまったところでそろそろ行きましょうか。
Yeah, here it is. So we'll see if we're going to get the opening here. But we're definitely going to end when we leave the house. End the stream. Tosaka announces this curtly. But it's kind of weird. What? Go where?
だからあなたが巻き込まれたこのゲーム、
The game?
聖杯戦争をよく知っているやつに会いに行くの。エミヤ君、聖杯戦争の理由について知りたいんでしょ？
Yeah, of course, but where are we going? It's already late, and if it's too far...
大丈夫。隣町だから、
Next
急げば
town?
夜明けまでには帰ってこれるわ。それに明日は日曜なんだから、別に夜更かししてもいいじゃない。
Wait, though. She doesn't actually explain here why they don't just stop, go to sleep, we'll go there in the morning. There's literally no reason, right? Like, what the fuck? And based on what we know later, by the way, that's what they should have done. Like, all the masters and servants are more active at night. And so she's like, yeah, let's just travel at night where we're more likely to be attacked rather than waiting for the morning when we'll be less likely to be attacked. She's stupid, man. She's stupid. Now, I don't know. I really do wonder how often this is going to be a thing where she actually is consistently stupid. I wonder. That's not the issue here. So much has happened today and I'm utterly exhausted. I just want to rest and organize my thoughts.
何？行かないの？もうエミヤ君がそう言うんならいいけど、セイバーは？
She's got to stay here to protect me. And also, I got stabbed through the heart today. They might end up mentioning that he has a bit of a healing ability. I'm not sure how much they're going to highlight that, but we'll see. For some reason, Tosaka's asked... Oh, that's also why... Oh, okay. Also, without that healing ability, Tosaka's major part. Well, no, that's right. No, that's right. That's right. No, it still worked. It still worked because the healing only started working once Saber was summoned. It could have failed a few hours later, though, to be fair. For some reason, Tosaka's asking for Saber's opinion. Wait, Saber's got nothing to do with this. Don't push her. Got nothing to do? Like, I mean, she's a master. Alright, sorry, servant.
もうマスターとしての自覚はあるんだ。私がセイバーと話すのは嫌？
Well, yeah, she's not going to answer you. Like, why would she answer you? That's not it. It's just that if everything you said about this whole thing is true, then that would mean Saber's a hero from the past. That means she wouldn't know anything about the modern era. That's why...
シロ、それは違う。サーバントは人間の世であるのなら、あらゆる時代に適応します。
So this is always where I'm
この時代の
wondering.
こともよく知っている。
Because servants learn about the modern age. But do they learn? But based on what I've seen in other media, they don't. Not really. Like, they learn general ideas about the modern age. But, like, do they learn about every single culture on the entire planet? No. They learn, like, really basic stuff. Just like, this is electricity. These are the new weapons of the age, maybe. Like, really basic stuff like that, really. Like, I don't think they even know about, like, any global politics because they don't need to know it. And, like, I don't think they would, yeah, again, not know anything about, like... I think it's been mentioned before that, like, they aren't aware that humans don't fight in wars as often as they used to. Or maybe they are aware of this? I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. You are? Really?
もちろん。この時代に呼び出されたのも一度ではありませんから。
Yeah, this part. What? Seriously?
どんな確率よそれ？
Well, the odds are actually high, but we won't go into it. Oh, hey, Tosaka's surprised too. It must mean what Saber said is at least somewhat unusual.
シロ、私は彼女に賛成です。あなたはマスターとして知識がなさすぎる。あなたと契約したサーバントとして、シロには強くなってもらわなければ困ります。
Saber silently stares at me. The look on her face tells me she's saying this for my sake, not for her own safety. Fine, guess I have to go, don't I? Wait a second, I want to check something. Because I've wondered about this before. No, that's stupid. Okay, that's really weird. Wow. I wonder when they mentioned this. So I have always wondered, why does Saber remember the Fourth Holy Grail War? Because normally servants aren't supposed to remember the past events of when they were summoned before. So they tried to say that Saber's never died, ever died. And because she never died, she is continuing to live technically. This is a little weird. but like technically she never died. So she's continuing her life until the events of this Fate's Day night. When she first was alive, she was almost dead, and then she was accepted as a servant before she died. I don't know why, but she was accepted into becoming a servant early. So then her body, like, I don't know, I guess it dissolved, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if the body didn't die, then it had to have, like, ascended to, you know, the afterlife, I guess. And then the ending of the Fourth Holy Grail War, it ended while her body was technically alive, because the Grail was destroyed, and then her body just kind of dispersed and went back to the afterlife, I guess. This feels really stupid. The more I say this, the more I'm like, they just made up this bullshit just for this exact story, didn't they? Because this never matters ever again at later. You know, they'll remember vague ideas of their past life as a servant. Like they might vaguely remember, hey, I was friendly to somebody that was kind of like this. Like they'll remember stuff like that, like deja vu maybe. But like real thoughts and real memories, not really. Guess don't have a choice. So where is this place, Tosaka? We can still get back here from there, right? Which is like, yeah, the next town over. Really, it's called Kodomine Church? Notice she calls Shiro a sham master and Kodomine a sham priest. I don't know. She's just rude, I think. I mean, she's kind of right, but like in every matter that really matters, she's technically wrong. But yeah, it's weird that it's called Kodomine Church. Like, what? It's a Catholic church. It's just a Catholic church. Why would it be called Kodomine? But maybe it's somehow like an ancestral church for the Kodomine family, possibly. I don't know anything about the Kodomines being actually Japanese. Tosaka flashes a mischievous grin. It's the look of someone who's enjoying teasing me since I have no clue what's going on. Why would somebody like be happy that they're informing somebody who doesn't know what's going on about what's happening? I don't get that. Just arrogance, I guess. Anyway, we'll see if we get the opening here. At least that's what I think. I'm starting to believe Tosaka has a really nasty side. Or annoying side. We'll wait till we get to the church. We walk through town at night. It's 1 a.m. and there is nobody out at this hour. Houses are dark. The sleepy town is cast only in the streetlight's pale glow. Hey Tosaka, are you planning on walking to the next town? So we're walking 5 to 10 miles? Yeah, that definitely never came up in the anime. Okay. I just want to make sure. Do you know how long that walk will take? So that's easily 4 hours. Or sorry, 4 miles. At least. I don't have that kind of money, and my point is more about whether it's safe for a girl to walk around at this hour. I mean, you're here with her. You know it's been dangerous recently. I don't want to be responsible if anything happens to you. Oh. Now that she mentions it, if anyone picks a fight with Saber, they're dead for sure. I forgot about this dumb yellow poncho that she wears only for this scene, I think. Or for this day.
そういうの考えてないんじゃない？魔術師とかサーバントとかどうでもいいって感じ。あいつの頭の中一度見てみたくなったわね。
Tosaka and Saber seem to be on good terms. Good enough terms to chat now. Saber's been quiet ever since I stopped her from leaving the house as she was. She flatly refused to take off her armor, so I made her wear a raincoat, and she's been quiet ever since. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I was like, why would she not take off her armor? Oh, wait, yeah. That makes sense. Now she's just following me and only speaks to Tosaka.
あれ？どっちに行くのよ、エミヤくん。そっち、道が違うんじゃない？
We need to go to the bridge, right? Shortcut. I feel a little awkward walking right beside her, so I walked a little faster and took the side pass. Yep, gotta go across the bridge. I guess. We enter a park along the riverside. All we need to do is cross the bridge to reach Shinto.
へえ、こんな道あったんだ。そっか。橋には公園からでも行けるんだから、公園を目指せばいいのね。
This is funny. This location, actually. It's reminding me from the beginning of Fate Grand Order. Anyway, don't worry about it. Maybe it's the park at night. Tosaka, as she stands there staring up at the bridge, looks prettier than when I see her at school. This isn't good. Let's just go. We didn't come here to goof off. I remind Tosaka to hurry and start climbing the stairs. Once we reach the road at the side of the bridge, it's just a straight shot to Shinto. There is nobody on the bridge. Not surprising, since the bridge isn't exactly busy even during the day. People tend to take the bus or train to get to the next town, so the pedestrian bridge doesn't see much use. They're pretty good distance, and the bridge itself seems a little unsteady, so people might worry it could collapse at any time. I don't think that's true. Probably why this isn't a very good popular spot for dates, even though the location and ambience are perfect. It's a literal metal bridge. There's no way it's gonna freaking fall apart. What is in your head, Shiro? Stop thinking about such stupid crap. Saber follows silently while Rin walks beside him. This is really stupid crap, honestly. He's literally thinking about date spots after this whole situation. I hurry across the bridge as fast as I can and try not to think too much about the two girls with me. Once we cross the bridge, Tosaka leads us to the suburbs. Office buildings near the station only come to mind when I think of Shinto, but there's still a traditional townscape on the outskirts. The suburbs are especially prominent in that sense. There are gentle slopes and a hill that overlooks the ocean. Further up the hill you go, the fewer buildings there are, and there's even a foreigner's cemetery built along the hillside. Why would he ever go to a church? Especially one in a different town. Nope, never, though I do know it used to be an orphanage. Could that be the orphanage that Kotomine came from when he was a child?
So, なら今日が初めてか。じゃあ少し気を引き締めた方がいいわ。あそこの神父は一筋縄じゃいかないから。
I look up and see a shadow that must be a building up on top of the hill. A church atop a hill. Never imagined a circumstance like this is what would bring me to God's house. Whoa, this is amazing. The church is magnificent. Ooh, I just accidentally pressed a button. The whole hilltop seems to be church grounds, and I'm greeted by a huge open space the moment I reach the top of the hill. The church at the other side of the vast open space isn't all that big, but it seems to loom over everything, intimidating any visitors. This is actually funny that I think about it, that it's about 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So logically, he actually shouldn't be awake right now, because there's still going to be service on Sunday morning, logically. So, you know, he definitely would want to be asleep at that time. Whatever. He's probably just awake every day and night, I guess, at this point. I mean, he is good enough to do that, so.
シロ、私はここに残ります。
Why? We came all this way. I can't just leave you here.
私は教会に来たのではなく、シロを守るためについてきたのです。シロの目的地が教会であるのなら、これ以上遠くには行かないでしょう。ですから、ここで帰りを待つことにします。
But it's weird that she says this, because she was implying that she was going to go to the church on her own in this night if he didn't go. So that doesn't make sense. Saber is frank in her response. Can't see her budging at this point, so I decide to respect her decision. All right, then I'll be back.
Hi.
Yes, and do not let...
誰であろうと気を許さないように、マスター。
Okay, this is the stopping point. The big moment's gonna happen after we're done with the church. I don't know much more after that, honestly. I don't know why, but I remember everything up to now in the anime, but like afterwards, like for the next 3-ish days, I'm very fuzzy on the details. Like I remember like one thing and maybe another, but yeah, it's very vague. I'm wondering how much we're gonna be talking to Saber during this time. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we made some good progress. Let me see the flowchart. Ah, this is how it works. I got used to Tsukihime's vertical flowchart, so okay. I don't, and based on what I remember, I don't think that Witch on a Holy Night had a flowchart. I think. Oh, so this is a Sakura choice here. That's interesting that they actually say that. But then this is for somebody else. And then this was just extra information. What the fuck? Did I even do any choice here? Or maybe this could have... Wait. Oh, okay. If I picked this choice, then she would have been heartbroken, because it was like, I'll go and work on dinner on myself. And then if I could have said, hey, I'm going to help you anyway, and then she would have been like, oh, you know? So. But yeah, that is really funny that up to now, we've only had choices related to Sakura. But I'm thinking that this is going to be more like 3 choices, isn't it? So I'm a little confused by this. Unless it's like 1 choice and then another choice or something. That, like this is the fate route or something if he keeps going to the right. But then this one is Unlimited Blade Works. And then then there might be 2 more choices after this where 1 goes to the fate and 1 goes to Unlimited Blade Works route. I looked a little bit ahead and they do mention that you can go to the Unlimited Blade Works route, but you will get an unavoidable dead end. So that's interesting. Like that's why you have to do the fate route first, no matter what. But again, I'm only going to be doing the fate route because I hate Unlimited Blade Works, and I have considered doing the Heaven's Feel route. I'm keeping it up in the air still. Let me look real quick. It's weird because it's like I always hear about it being the longest route, and I'm like, why is it the longest route? Like, I understand it being like a little longer, but like I didn't think it'd be that much longer. Maybe I will, though. I don't know. Like I am thinking of like there's some the main thing is that there is some backstory in the Heavensfeel route that makes me want to definitely check it out for sure. And then there's a few scenes from the movies that make me wonder what actually happened in the visual novel, because I'm like I still don't know what Sakura's power is. I just want to throw that out there. She's got a power, and like in the movies I'm like, what the heck is she doing? And she only does it like once, I think. And it was like, what? And then like nothing. So I'm like, there's no way that she did that in the visual novel. Yeah, but yeah, I'll figure that out later. You know, obviously I'll get through the Fate route, and then we'll take a break, and I'll do the Heavensfeel route. As in, I'll probably skip it all, honestly. And then I'll consider, depending on how long it takes to do the Fate route. I don't think the Fate route should take that long. It's just the problem is that I have to do like repeated 5-hour sessions of each of these, and this is like probably the longest day as far as I'm aware, the day I'm on right now. So that's day 1, day 2, day 3. So yeah, I guess the next one will be considered day 3 as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. We had a few people show up. Seems like it's popular enough. But yeah, I really gotta buckle in on doing this. Like I could play this another 10 hours and I still like at the pacing. I mean, I know. Okay, so the problem is I'm still not used to the fact that Nasu, the way the author writes, is that he front loads a lot of his information, and so like the first chapters, we'll call them chapters, you know, the days, the first chapters are like super long, and it's like, wow, this story's gonna be so long. But then you get to like around the halfway point in the story and stuff starts speeding up, like, oh wow, that was a whole day, wow, that was fast, you know, stuff like that. And yeah, you could have like a short day and then a long day, but like generally I would say the supposed halfway point in his stories are usually closer, you know, like in terms of days, are actually usually closer to like the 70% mark, honestly. But yeah, it depends just how front loaded the story is. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, so see ya. I'm figuring this out.
Are there a bunch of little girls in this one too? Hello, girl!